great
going
for a
live
man.
now. Live.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's working.
What are the topics for today?
Anything,
I
man.
don't know, man. Anything.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Well,
I mean, we can. What else can we say, man, about this fight? Not much, man.
I mean, I think we covered it pretty much, but I came away with this fight pretty satisfied in knowing what was going to happen. I think that this was the best Wilder could do before he gassed out, after the fourth round.
How do you feel about Usyk's odds against Fury?
I like Usyk's odds against Fury, especially if that one shows up. I definitely I definitely like Usyk's odds.
I used to really think Usyk was the only guy to beat Fury, but after watching the second fight with Wilder, I don't think so anymore.
I mean, listen, you can't be surprised if Usyk loses to Fury, man. A much bigger dude.
Well, I mean, I've been saying for the past few years, in the chat, Fury and Usyk were going to be the last one in there.
Yeah, that makes sense, bro. And you made a good observation. I mean, if you just look at the way they both box, right, as in compared to the rest of the division. Yeah. I'm still gonna give AJ a shot. He hasn't fought AJ. Usyk fought him. He beat him. They're gonna fight a rematch. I think Usyk's gonna still beat him in the rematch, but hey, you never know. Right? I don't write AJ off.
Yeah, me either, man. Ever since he bounces back,
it's a must win. So
yeah,
he's got to come out guns blazing.
He might get hurt worse. You never know.
Yeah.
But I
think
still
he'll get stopped this time.
Yeah, but you got to admit, right? He's still a dangerous dude.
He might overcommit and get stopped this time, but
I
think it'll still be an entertaining fight.
I believe so too, man. Definitely I like that fight, but yeah, BB, Bucho, I don't know, bro. There are some pretty funny comments, like right after the fight. Like there was the video you did today of Umar Johnson. Nah. This fight had to be fixed.
Apparently, he's a con artist or some shit. He took $1 million to. He was helping raise
this guy knows
a bunch of money to open a school.
Boxing.
Was that?
He knows nothing. He don't know boxing.
No, but he didn't even watch the
body
fight.
Shape. He goes by body shape.
He goes by body shape.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So he looked at Wilder and said, "Man, I wish I could have that body." He translated that to a killer in the ring.
Well, he said the Shango.
By physique. He goes by the physique.
Exactly.
He's gay.
He called Mike Tyson a coon.
He would never say that to Mike Tyson's face, though.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever. You know how they like to say, "You wouldn't say that to my face"? Well, you wouldn't say it to Tyson.
Bro, Mike Tyson's really that type to fucking hook you back, man. Real fucking let him punch go.
He might have calmed down because he's an older man.
Yeah,
but in Mike Tyson, man, these dudes, when Mike Tyson was in his 30s, bro, they shit their pants. Just Mike looking at them. When somebody starts mean
20s, man. Cuando tenía 18, 19.
Oh, when he was 18, 19, he was more dangerous. He was less impulsive. He had less impulse.
Yeah. That's when he was knocking everybody out.
Yeah. He would have made those dudes cry. Like, literally, they'd have been crying. I don't give a fuck how big and where they're from. Mike Tyson would have made them cry. What's up, bitch? That's what you would have heard. Mike Tyson come in. What's up, bitch?
So I'll nibble at his ear.
Yeah, this guy's insane, man. And Drew Titan.
Kimbucho, badass video, carnal. I loved it, man. Buen jale, güey.
Thanks, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, they like I said, man, they fantasize about being like guys like that, man. That's all that's all that is, man. It's a fantasy.
You know what I thought about? Like, their predictions since the first fight have been all wrong. Like, completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Ah,
look, David Haye,
it's-
right? David Haye picked Wilder to beat Fury
Every time.
all 3 times. And he said it. At least he admitted. He said, "Look, man, I did pick against. I think Fury never. David Haye never liked Fury. You know their history, right? You know,
Yeah.
a lot of you guys are aware of their little history. They were supposed to fight. Something
Yeah,
happened
but
to
they
David.
didn't. They didn't, right? Yeah, I remember that.
David Haye, I think, pushed out. You know, when.
Oh, supposedly like he got an injury or some shit,
Yeah,
and then never made the fight again. Yeah,
I think he punked out. That's what I think.
and I think in that fight was when they had Deontay Wilder as a sparring partner for David Haye,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
and he was getting. There's some video clips. I'm not saying Wilder didn't hold his own in sparring, right? Maybe he had some good moments too. They just didn't show it. But it
Oh
looked
no, man! I remember they showed a video, yeah, where they exposed Deontay Wilder, right, getting knocked out or some shit.
yeah, in the amateurs for sure. He got beat up by
No, I think on that video, bro. Like, yeah, I think David Haye released a video of Deontay Wilder and him sparring because they were sparring partners, right?
Yep.
And just David Haye just like going crazy on Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder, like, if I remember correctly, yeah, just looking like a fucking punching bag. If I remember correctly, yeah.
So what do you guys think is Wilder's next game plan? Do you think he comes back, fights
He-
like a
if he
lower
could-
level
He
fight?
said he's not going to
if he
retire.
comes back, if he comes back, he's coming back to fight like C minus fights. You know what I mean? Fighters.
As usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the PBC
Yeah.
would try to set up
He
like an
might
Andy
fight
Ruiz
Andy
fight.
Ruiz.
Yeah,
That's a big fight for the PBC.
yeah, but that's it, man.
Yeah, I think the
¿Qué
Ruiz
onda,
fight is
Felipe?
Hola, LT.
¿Cómo te va, compa?
Bien,
¿Qué onda,
bien.
raza?
still to the Spanish show, bro. Compa, what's up, compa?
It's gonna
¿Qué
turn into
onda, compa?
Spanish,
¿Cómo andas?
BDA Spanish. You know, I had an idea
Yeah.
of doing
Yeah.
I had an idea of doing a BDA Spanish fucking channel, but I'm like, I don't have fucking time for that shit.
Well, you
Pero
know,
por qué no, Bucho? I know you can do it, carnal.
I don't know.
BDA, you would have. I mean, Bucho, you would have to put like a where you could
Once a
hit
month,
button.
there should be like a
Yeah,
Spanish
but how
edition.
many people would be how many people would watch? You know, if I just do like a three shows a month, like I don't know if it's worth it.
I don't know if
First
you have
of
a
all,
video.
bro, have you seen?
If you take the time, it
Bro,
might
have-
even be bigger in Spanish because
You could get a Mexican,
Bro,
a Mexican
bro,
audience.
Bro, do you know how big, like, you know who no puedes jugar boxeo is, right?
Yeah.
No puedes jugar boxeo.
I heard of it.
Yeah, I know.
The channel, no puedes jugar boxeo. I know Bucho has seen him, right?
Yeah.
Is that old guy with glasses, right?
Yeah,
Bro, he's like, when he goes live, bro, like he has like 3,000 or 4,000 in his chat
but
alone,
they
bro.
got all the like Latin American viewers.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, that puto.
That's a big. We're a big crowd, bro. I don't care what
That's
anybody
a
says.
very big crowd, bro. That's no super chats, bro. No super chats. God bless him. God
Yeah,
bless him,
'cause they're
bro. You
broke.
know what I mean? Because his
He does that out of love.
audience are from, right,
He does that
all
out of
from
love.
Guatemala and, Mexico. And, those guys just don't, they're not going to throw you a super
I
chat.
saying they're
But
broke, man.
that's right. He does his own commercials and shit.
Shit, yeah, they have a lot of viewers, man.
Yo,
Maybe I'll try it someday.
Deontay Wilder es una come de mierda.
Are you gonna,
Pinche
are you
Wilder.
gonna create an episode looking for Nepal?
What's that?
Are you gonna create an episode looking for Nepal? Or what was this guy's name?
Who?
Wow, he's
The
talking about
username, you guys
Nopal.
remember? Nopal?
Nopal. I heard
This
Nopal.
is
Yeah.
Nopal.
Hey, this is Nopal.
Nopal.
That guy he got banned. I don't know who banned him, but
Yeah,
maybe
I
it
don't
was
know
me
what happened.
actually. I
Well,
think it was me.
BT,
Yo,
my boy.
my boy LT. My carnal.
My carnal.
Hey, what are you talking about? Ernesto Amador.
On the
Eh,
chat,
that's the guy I'm talking
don't
about.
alienate the
Ese es
white
el no
man.
puedes jugar boxeo. Ese es, así se llama Ernesto Amador, así se llama él.
Esos vatos sí agarran superchats también porque mucha raza de Estados Unidos llama a sus programas.
Yeah, that's true. They get a lot
Sí,
of
pero no agarran mucho comparado a lo que está la gente que está en el chat, bro.
They get a lot of
O
American
sea, sí se
viewers.
agarran.
¿Qué
Se
cabrón?
agarran,
Vamos a
pero
hablar
no,
en pinche
¿sí me
inglés,
entiendes? O
güey.
sea, no
Es que
Pero
fucking
sí
hablando en
tienen
inglés.
3,000, 4,000
This
viewers.
is turning into Spanish fucking shit, man. Come on, guys.
I agree. We
what,
gotta
¿en
put
pucho?
it
You don't
back in
like it or
English.
what, güey?
No, güey, soy pinche malinchista, traidor, güey.
I'm a revoke your Mexican card, Bucho.
Yeah. We got Jimmy. Jimmy,
What's up, brothers?
what's up?
How's it going?
What's up, bro?
Jimmy.
Yo,
Hey,
yo.
Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
Tell me
Great
what's
video,
been
by the
going
way,
on
Bucho.
Twitter and everything. Have you
stuff.
seen anything funny?
What's that?
Have you seen anything funny on Twitter?
You kidding me, dude? It's all over the fucking place. It's almost as laughable from the Furies fans as it is the Wilders, to be honest with you. It's crazy. All of a sudden, he's the number one fucking hit. Some guys are calling him the greatest heavyweight of all times. I'm like, all right, come on, man. One title defense. One guy's like, oh, well, Muhammad Ali only fought 3 or 4, big names in his. I'm like, what? Listen, first off, the average middling fighter in that time period was better. Then all right, Helsinki or whatever the fuck his name is, because the fucking Kanaki, the fucking Polish meatball there. The fact that those two are anywhere near a top 10 tells you the state of the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? Like, be honest with you, neither one of those dudes are good enough to be Muhammad Ali's sparring partner, and they're rated in the top 10. And it's just so okay. You beat Vlad at the end of his fucking reign. Let's be honest. On the way out the door, you beat him in one of the most boring fights I've ever seen, and then you go take out a guy 3 times whose greatest win is a 50-year-old Cuban. I just don't understand. Like, I understand we're starving for something to get the juices flowing, but it's just crazy. On both ends.
Facts. I agree. One
Yeah.
title defense, one belt. We got Usyk across the pond. He's holding 3 fucking belts. You serious right now?
ESPN has him higher pound for pound now.
Isn't Fury talking about retirement now?
Yes, he said he's got one more fight left in him, which, but he wants that old-time great status. I don't know. Yeah, that's what he just said recently. But then again, let's be honest, Fury flip-flops a lot. He says a lot of things. This is just at the end of the fight. He just made millions of dollars. But, yeah, so I found out a little bit more, too, about his conditioning. I guess he only had 2 weeks of sparring opposed to 5. He was supposed to have a 5-week camp in Vegas at this British dude who owns a gym out there. But then because of some complications with his daughter and something else, he had to go back home. So he ended up only having 2 weeks of camp. So, yeah, I knew something was up. Like, he just didn't look himself. He didn't look as fresh. He didn't train as hard. And the fact that he apologized for his performance in the post-fight, along with saying, yeah, obviously I wasn't in the condition I could have been in. So, and again, like, I can't stress enough, as much as we want to think, yeah, he's got concussive power now, but that's not the case. Listen, he's got 60% KO ratio, which is about average, a little below. But Deontay Wilder went out as much as he, for sucking oxygen as he was concussed. And it's all pretty much the same thing. Goes along the lines of why drunks go out. It's called hypothermia, or it's oxygen desaturation. And the more muscular you are, the harder it is to pump blood, the more oxygen it takes. So that was not a smart move on him to go up that big.
And it's a guy that doesn't do any jogging or anything. By the way, I just want to thank in the chat, New Media Today, USA Boxing. Says hello to everybody in the panel. You guys make and in the chat. And he says, "You guys make great content. Salute to everybody in the chat. Go check out New Media Today USA Boxing. It's great. It's a great channel. Uh, today they showed one of our videos, the try not to laugh videos about the LDBC with all the excuses. So yeah, go check out that channel. Great content.
Yeah, great. I just actually
Yes,
I just
sir.
got finished watching his live. He does great stuff, man.
Yeah.
I like it. He calls the people out in their bullshit. He's not
yeah.
afraid of anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Uh,
man. Shout out Coach Malachi. Much
I wanna-
much love, OG.
Read a super
Much
chat.
love, one love.
Somebody in the super chat. I need some old school in my life. That's his name. He says, of all the Deontay Wilder fan Jesus. Of all the Deontay Wilder fan excuses, this has to be number one. On the ring entrance, he used the hold on.
The wrong rapper.
Oh, the wrong rapper. You heard me right. The wrong rapper. Oh yeah, because in the video that I made, some lady is saying that the energy was all wrong because of the rapper. I mean, these people are out of their minds. Come on,
Bro, that was
Well, one
fucking
guy said
hilarious,
pixie
bro.
dust.
Bro, that girl is hilarious
Gypsy
as
magic.
hell, bro.
I
Yeah,
can't believe I
man.
didn't put money on it. It was 40-1 for Tyson Fury to knock out Wilder. Oh my god.
On that voodoo type energy she was trying to like invoke or whatever she was on, man.
Let me tell you guys what. The disrespect for Alexander Usyk is off the charts. The things I've been hearing, the disrespect, the dismissive attitude
Facts.
is off the charts, man. I even heard someone say, multiple people, this is the narrative. Now, that was the 1 and 2 heavyweight right there.
Oh,
And then I heard someone say, well, let's hope Joshua gets in there and gets the win against Usyk so we can get Fury versus Joshua. Like what?
yeah.
What do you mean? You're like some fanboy shit trying to, let's get Joshua. He should win. I want to see him.
Like he just
Let the
lost.
best man win.
Yeah,
That's the
he
best
just
man win.
lost. He has to
But you want to
rematch.
hear Eddie Hearn and his disrespect and Barry Hearn. They're so jealous of Tyson Fury. It's unbelievable.
Hey, by the way, I wanna read a
understandable.
super
That's
chat just
understandable. The
quickly.
promoters are gonna be bitter, losing
wanna
their big cash cow, but the fans and
Yeah.
the media should just
Yo,
Put
I
being
was gonna ask
Yo.
you, man. I wanted to ask you, Butch. I wanted to ask you guys, man. They're saying that Deontay Wilder versus AJ. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, they didn't get to my point regarding the disrespect to Usyk, so we'll get back to your point. What do you guys think of that? The disrespect to Usyk.
Bro. Oh yeah, the disrespect to Usyk.
Well,
I
to be
you know
honest, if
what,
I was
Kevin? I
Anthony
think
Joshua, I wouldn't want to fight Usyk again. I'll just face Fury now. That's it.
No, you know what? They think that Usyk's too small still. They're not convinced with Usyk, so they just dismiss the guy. That's what I'm getting. The feeling that I'm getting, man.
Yeah, that was
Joshua,
about
fair and
it.
square. There shouldn't be a rematch between Usyk and Joshua. There shouldn't be.
I feel like, bro, they just throwing Usyk under the rug, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got all the belts at the moment, came off a great win, and just stylistically, man, he's just an issue for anyone in that division. Like, no one fights like how he does. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
I hope the fight is in Ukraine. I
like a
hope the
middleweight.
fight is going to be in Ukraine. I hope that that he gives back to the Ukraine people. I hope it's in Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't think
They
that's
keep
gonna
saying
happen.
Wilder's number 2, Fury 1, Wilder 2. Wilder hasn't won a
No,
fight in 4
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Okay,
Wilder's number
guys.
10 now. He
Let me
needs to fuck off. He needs
hold
to
on. Let
fuck
me
off.
just read a quick
Water-
super chat
Water
here. New
needs to
Media
retire.
Today USA Boxing says, "You guys have to stand strong, no matter what. Keep fighting." That's right. We're fighting the evil LDBC. Well, you're just making fun of the LDBC for now. Don't. Yeah,
Sparta! Right?
yeah. We're gonna move
Yeah,
on.
that's why I
Come
wanted to
on.
touch on Deontay Wilder
I was
subject,
so
man.
scared for Fury though.
Look,
It was such a high adrenaline fight.
that's
When Wilder started to jab
why I
Fury
wanted
to the
to stay on
body,
the
I thought, what's
subject.
going on here?
Yo, bro, I was telling people, man, I think Water should retire, man. You know, some people like,
Yeah, thank
he
you,
shouldn't
Monster.
retire. He shouldn't retire. Now, honestly, bro, I don't think people understand how much damage he took in that last fight.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He only won 2 rounds. He got 10-2, bro. He won the first round.
Yeah,
he
but
won
don't
the
you want to
4th round.
see?
That was it.
Don't
And
you
after
want to
that,
see
he got
Wilder fight?
completely destroyed.
Don't you
I
want to
mean,
see
no,
Wilder
no,
fight somebody, man? Come on.
You know what? How
Nah,
many
he took a
beatings
beating,
must
bro.
Wilder
He took a
have?
beating, bro. I felt bad for Wilder too because I was talking a lot of shit about the guy. 'Cause excuses. You know what I'm saying? And in the fanboys. But now, I
What
felt bad
Wilder
for him in
needs to
that
do is
fight.
go
He
down
got
to the
beat so bad.
Bridgerweight competition. He needs to become Bridgerweight champion. That's where he needs to. That's where he belongs now, in the Bridgerweight.
Bro, if he's fighting any other fights like how he did Saturday, he's not winning. He has to win by KO. Because if he's getting tired like that, he's gonna get his ass whooped. What you think Usyk gonna do? He gonna stop him.
Yeah.
Usyk will
I
stop
think he
him.
might actually has a chance by putting his lights out though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I
I
said.
think. I
If he
think.
can KO him.
Taking out Usyk.
If he
I
can
think
KO him.
I think we
That's
saw
what I'm
the
saying.
best of Wilder when he fought that Polish guy. He's been on the downside for quite a long time now. Fury got him at the right time, I think. He was on the downside.
Yeah, that's why I said if he can KO him. I said he has to win by KO. Because if he doesn't, it's a wrap. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he has a punch
He ain't
chance. He
KO'd
always
no
has a
one
chance.
lately, has he?
Yo, man, have you guys heard what the Deontay Wilder fanboys been saying?
Oh
Now
my
that
God!
they've
We're
been
so
saying,
proud of you,
bro,
Wilder. We're so
they've been
proud,
saying,
baby. We're so
they've
proud
been
of you,
saying,
baby. You're our God.
they've been saying, the Charlo told Deontay Wilder that race has nothing to do with it and stuff like that. And I'm going crazy, like, what the hell are these guys talking about? So I pay attention to them, and you know what they're complaining? They're complaining that he told Deontay Wilder that boxing has nothing to do with race, but he's talking about just that fight, right? But the fanboys twist it and say, but they're talking about how the race doesn't matter and Charlo's not even on the pound for pound list and he has 3 belts and this and that. How does he like have the balls to go and tell Deontay Wilder that race doesn't have an issue or in boxing? And I'm thinking to myself, bro, he's just referring to that fucking fight, man.
I mean, it
Get
should
your
be
fucking
obvious.
panties out of
It should be obvious.
Big fat
Vatos locos, man. No, Vatos are locos. I'm telling you right now. Them Vatos are locos.
Vatos
Legit.
locos?
Loco,
You say Vatos
loco.
locos?
Yeah, man, I'm at the panel, man. Peace out, guys.
LT hates you out. Yo, like he doesn't like
Damn,
you.
LT.
Kevin from Chicago.
LT, why you did, bro?
So what happened to that guy that was in here who was a big Wilder fan? What happened to him?
He's gone with the wind.
He
He's
left.
gone with the wind. The
Where's
wind that
Slugger
He's
Sam
talking
at?
about
Vegas?
hoe and waffles.
Was it
Who?
triple gay black anal or something? His name?
The
Yo.
Haitian.
That's
see
a,
the
that's
wind
a
blow in
Haitian,
Vegas?
man. That's a
Did
troll.
you see the wind blow in Vegas? Anybody see it?
The what?
The wind,
The what?
the wind was blowing in Vegas.
When he's over there,
He cracked me up. He goes, "You guys are criminals, not paying for the pay-per-view. You guys are criminals." Paying for the pay-per-view.
I pay for it. I ended up paying for it.
It was
I didn't
worth
pay
it,
for
though.
it.
It was worth it, though, because there was some
Yeah,
sort of
it's worth it.
satisfaction at the
I'm
end.
a criminal. I don't pay for it.
Criminal. Should
Criminal.
go to jail.
Perfect.
Well, if I'm not fucking supporting corruption in boxing, I don't think so.
You should go to jail for this. Shame on you.
For watching it for free.
Shame on you.
It was a really good stream, though. Only buffered once. But the whole card was amazing, isn't it? The Polish guy got smashed in.
Mm-hmm.
You know something against Polish people, I can tell.
He was
Berlanga
How is that
got
amazing?
Adam
Which
Kaneki.
guy are you talking about?
I think
I
we
don't know what's
focused
going to
too
happen
much
to
on
Adam Kaneki.
Wilder.
Are you
That
talking about
last fight
Konaki?
that no one
he got
talked about how
Spaniard?
J-Rock was upset.
Yeah, he lost.
Oh
J-Rock
yeah,
lost.
J-Rock got his ass whooped. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man, he was getting his
Yeah.
shit whooped. He started
Yeah.
off good, but later on he just fatigued, bro. He just getting his ass whooped.
And FA Jagba versus Sanchez was a good fight as well. The whole card was amazing. It was a great night of boxing, I thought.
The Jabba needs some work, man. He's watered 2.0. He's just
Yeah,
another
imagine that
powerful
Wilder
dude.
versus Jagba. Who'd win that fight, you think?
So who?
Wilder would knock him the
Wilder.
fuck out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wilder
if
was
he's just standing there like he did
Yeah.
against the Cuban guy, the 26-year-old Cuban.
Sanchez.
Yeah, Frank Sanchez. Yeah, Frank Sanchez.
More like
45-year-old.
Was it Frank Sanchez or what was his name?
Yeah, did you
Frank
guys
Sanchez or Luis Ortiz?
He's
Frank
26.
That's his name.
Honestly, it looked like he stole his son's birth certificate and then claim it as his.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened, bro.
Yeah.
He do look older though. He
Oh,
look way older.
man.
Yeah, he's,
I think
age.
when is
150,
Charles
150.
Martin gonna get a fight again?
150. That dude is
Because he
close to
beat
50.
No, he went back to heaven.
Yo, what?
He's
God,
close to
no.
50.
He's
150. 150. He's close to 50 years old.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Frankie Sanchez.
Where's
Bro,
the
you can see it
picture?
in his face.
50 years old.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm 21 years old, bruh. What you talking about?
That's about
That's
Frank
nowhere near
Sanchez.
old.
I'm not saying 150 is 50. I'm saying Frankie Sanchez is
Yeah,
Oh,
close.
he's
said
born
Frank
1992. He looks old, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
older
was
not
than
old.
Little
26,
Keys.
man.
He
Are
said
you kidding
150,
me?
50.
Get the
I
fuck out
said,
of here.
what?
28.
He
No,
looked-
he's
I ain't no fucking 50, boy.
His,
he's
Yo,
mid to late
I
40s,
thought
man.
this name. I thought the name of the show was LDBC something, bro. You guys are. Go on.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get back to the LDBC.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
let's
man. I mean,
fucking...
this is why I joined, man. I just wanted to make fun of
All
him, but if you
right.
guys ain't up for it,
All right, hold on. Let me just read a super chat, man, and then we can get back to the LDBC. Markidian123, he says AJ should step aside and let undisputed match happen. I think they should have AJ versus Wilder in Africa. They both Nigerian, so it should happen in
Hey,
Nigeria.
guys, when BDA talks, when Bucho talks, you guys got to let him talk, man.
Yeah, because the thing is, guys, there's something happens with my mic when I'm joining Discord, so like my volume goes really down. But anyways,
Yeah.
LT wants to talk about the LDBC. Well, here's the thing. This is what I've noticed, man. These guys are trying to move on as quickly as possible, and what they're saying is, "Oh, we had a great fight. Both men won." Like, because it was such a great fight, according to them. So Wilder came out a winner because he showed heart and all that. He's a warrior. How can he be a warrior? Like, that guy didn't even fucking train because he gassed after 2 rounds. So that's not a warrior. A warrior fights 12 fucking rounds nonstop, man. He just doesn't. That guy was just surviving. How is that a warrior? How is that a fucking warrior? Explain to me how the fuck that is a warrior, man. Come on.
yeah, you know why he says he's a warrior, bro. You know why? Because he came with that like boost.
In peace. Yeah.
Can't deny it. The
All right,
dude
hold
showed
on.
heart.
I'm
He
gonna
was
have to kick
gassed and
people
he
out,
kept
man.
fighting on for about 8 extra rounds. A lot of people would have just folded. Joshua would have folded. So we got to give him credit there. But as far as oh man, I'm so proud of you, the lovey-dovey shit, yeah, they're taking it over the top. They're going, oh, you got nothing to be ashamed of. It's like, oh my god, give it a rest with that shit.
Bro, that's
Exactly.
what I'm saying.
They
bro.
took it personal, the LDBC fans. They took it like he was king of them or something.
He
Yeah,
was. He is.
They're taking it too personal. At the end of the day, he's made loads of money, took a beating, and that's the end of it.
exactly, bro. He got hella money, man. He can sit down and take his time, man. He ain't got
Yeah,
to
but-
box.
And he can laugh at his stupid fans. That's
All
what he
right,
can
but
do. Laugh at
here's the
them
thing.
for
All
their
right.
stupidity.
Here's what I don't like, though. The fact that they talked so much shit for more than a year, over a year, and now they just want to move on. They were calling us crazy. What would have happened if Wilder would have won? Just tell me. What would have happened? In the chat,
heard about it.
everywhere.
Listen. I know what would have happened. Right around the time Wilder and Fury were about to fight,
Get off, Ruby.
Hold on. I did videos like over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, about the rematch. And people were like, let's see what you got to say now. I never seen these commenters, channels, whatever. I didn't even know they existed. They're like, yeah, let's see all that shit you're going to talk. This and this and that. And I only responded one time when a guy was getting a little too stupid. And I had to remind him, like, remember, you on my channel. If you want to have a conversation through,
Is that Bruce Wayne?
or that
Terminator.
Mr. Shelton, whatever the fuck his name is, right? At least that's the name that showed up. And so I basically I didn't even respond, but they haven't responded ever since the ass whipping.
Yeah.
What's up now, bro?
What was that say in the video? It's retribution time. It's
Retribution time. I'm gonna
You know what?
don't take down your videos.
Shade on these people.
Don't take down your videos when Wilder puts Fury in the hospital. It's like, dude, you mean the opposite is gonna happen, man? Stop it. You know?
Yeah, there was that one caller who said, "You're gonna delete this part of the podcast." When I'm saying that Wilder's gonna win, you're gonna delete this off the podcast.
Yeah,
when
and he
wins.
was angry.
Some of these
and he
fans,
was
you know what they
fucking
remind me of?
angry.
But
That guy that guy that
7087 told me
Hold
he
on,
put
hold on.
thousands of.
Go ahead.
While the
I have
fans
to mute this
remind
guy.
me of the guy that after he got beat up from talking shit the first time, right? So he was talking shit the first time. He gets beat up. Now he's telling everybody that he's gonna beat you up again. And Fury's just laughing. He's like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, I put you in the hospital, the last time we fought." And then he comes in, it happens again, and then they try to act like they never talk shit. You know, that's Wilder fans.
And they got
But Wilder was a bronze medalist. So how did he get so far in the Olympics with very limited
Well,
boxing
he
skill?
used to box a little bit more when he was an amateur.
He's very
He had
long.
to.
He's very okay. In the Olympics, usually in the Olympics, you have some of these heavyweights. They're not that tall.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to professional heavyweights. That's
That
what I've
too.
noticed.
That too, Bucho. That's a good point. So he was fighting guys that he was 3 to 4 inches taller than.
Yeah.
Right? And so he was outboxing them. A lot of them, he was outboxing them because he threw a lot of jabs.
Well, a lot of them he was knocking out too. Recognize? He was
Yeah, of
knocking out
course.
a lot.
I'm talking about the higher level where you're trying to make it to the Olympics. He wasn't knocking those guys out.
A lot of those guys too. Not all of them, but a lot of those guys too. From what I
can recognize. Sorry, brother, but I was going to say that one of the obvious things. I know people hate hearing me say this, but it's a fact. This sport is a shell of itself. The competition is a shell of itself. I can't stress it enough. Those two doughy motherfuckers who fought on the card the other night, that Kawaki and the other one. I mean, literally, are not good enough.
Robert Helenius.
Yeah, they're not good enough to be fucking Ali's sparring partner. He would have laughed him out of the gym. Just get that fuck kid out of here.
Especially in the heavyweight division. Especially in the heavyweight division, Jimmy.
Did beat the shit out of him.
Bumzilla, but you know what was funny, bro? When fucking Boxing Eagle was crying on live fucking stream, like,
was he really?
Listen,
wait a minute, who's that?
He was like,
and his fans have brought shame on himself, but.
Yo, I need to find this.
Bro, like I swear to God, bro, like I freezed that frame, rewinded a little bit, and I saw the tears falling out, bro. Like that guy, like it's fucking hilarious. Like, bro, you know what it reminded me of?
I was fucking.
Hey, Bumzilla, shut up, man. Hey, Bumzilla, shut up, man. You know what it reminded me of when I saw Boxing Eagle crying? I just thought of Johnny Boy, bro. Like Johnny Boy just crying, like. Bro, like fuck, man, that looks like fucking Johnny Boy, bro. The fucking straight up pig, bro. That's what they fucking are.
General told me he put $4,000 on Wilder to lose. Why would you put that sort of money on Wilder, knowing that he got knocked out the last time?
Bumzilla, shut the fuck up, man. I swear to God, bro.
Bumzilla, you're talking too much, man. I don't know why your mic sounds really loud compared to everybody else, and like you constantly.
I'm using my phone. That's why.
Yeah, but you need to wait. Take a 5-minute break.
In regards to Deontay Wilder, I think Canelo Alvarez hit the nail on the head. The guy has no head movement, and his conditioning was bad. That's why he got beat up so resoundingly by Tyson Fury.
Facts. That's all.
Nah, not just that, bro. I mean, his fucking leg movement.
He's not skilled.
I mean, his legs. I mean, yeah, his footwork is just trash, bro. Like
He's
every time,
skilled,
like. Yeah, every time Deontay Wilder was caught with his like putting like weight on his back feet, bro. Like he's just fucking equilibrium was off, bro. Ready to get countered, bro. Like he just doesn't have any footwork, bro. That's why Tyson Fury won every fucking time. Next subject, bro. But Deontay, I don't know what is it called. Fucking Cheeseburger Nation, bro. Fucking faggot, bro. I swear to God, bro. That guy, bro. You should have seen his fucking stream.
Who's that? Cheeseburger?
So this guy was actually crying. He was actually crying.
Yeah, no, you guys should check out the world's called hypoxia. That was the biggest problem in that fight, actually, with both guys. And you could tell which fucking round he broke his finger on. He broke, I think it was his middle finger on Fury's head. Caught him in the fourth round. That's when they claim he broke his hand.
Oh yeah, I seen the X-rays of that shit, man. That shit split like 3 ways and shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he's
went.
just
He
not
came out of
skilled
the
enough.
Yeah, but I
punching
hope
bag.
that they don't use that as an
He's just not
excuse, though,
skilled enough to
because
beat him, bro. That's what
Yeah,
it
He
that's
is.
will.
going back to the glove thing. He should have
What it
kept the
is.
old glove.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
he
what it
stood.
is. It's fast twitch muscle fiber, explosive genetics, requires a lot of oxygen. Just can't keep it up. You people want to go in there and be a boxer, and he needs a he's not a boxer. What got him there was the explosive punching power. That's his makeup. That's his genetics. So you can't just go in there and tell him to be a boxer now because
yeah.
his genetics won't allow that. It's simple physics, genetics. That's what it is.
It's
Well,
not
he
even
didn't.
genetics. He don't know how. That's what it is.
Right off the bat, the gaining that extra weight and not changing your legs. The problem in the second fight was oxygen. He couldn't handle the fucking weight, and the same thing happened here again. I mean, it just listen. The bodybuilders, those big jack dudes. I'm telling you, right? I tell people all the time when they get in a fight with a big jack dude, I'm like, once you start getting him with his mouth open, he's done. Once he starts breathing heavy, because the more muscle you have, it's denser than any other, denser than fat, denser than your organs, and it's hard to push through. Your body has to work twice as hard to carry oxygen through your muscles than it does anything else. So when you pack all that extra muscle on, it's just going to make your body work that much harder. It was a stupid, stupid plan. Whoever was behind that.
I always
Yeah.
thought too that muscular guys telegraph their punches a lot. When they cock the shot back, it's harder to fucking throw a punch.
I completely agree. I
A
mean, the
lot of
only
it is
person
muscle guys just can't fight because they don't get in a lot of fights. A lot of them, because when they're really jacked, most people just want to avoid it because they're just so much stronger than them. So they assume, you know.
I used to spar muscular guys, and I know it's not. They're not all that they're cracked up to be. A lot of them, and it's not really about. They don't punch that hard. A lot of those guys, it doesn't come down to punching power. Sometimes they can be muscular and they don't crack at all. They might crack you hard with a few shots in the beginning, but it's not the same after a little while.
It's the same thing
more
with
like a push
It's
though when they on some of them that from my experience, it's more like when they hit you, it feels more like if they're pushing you, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's the same thing with, like I say all the time, with baseball. One of the best home run hitters ever, like Griffey Jr., was a scrawny dude. It's all about the velocity of your twist of the hips. It's so much more into play. Muscles do not make you a better boxer or tougher at all. It's just, you know what I mean? You want snap. It's all about the snap of your punches, and muscles hinder that.
In the chat, Aaron says Wilder does not do any road work. Apparently, no wonder he got tired. Yeah, that's true. And somebody in the video that I made today, like this guy was saying, "Oh, how can Fury? Why wasn't Fury tired or something?" First of all, he was tired, and then he goes on like, "Fury never does any road work, and he does do road work. So obviously, you
Yeah.
don't know shit about boxing, man. Like you don't
It's the
follow the
chiseled
sport that
brother. They
much.
can't
You
get
just
past it,
casually watch
Bucho. They
fights."
look at him, right? They look at fucking Fury and the fucking love handles and the doughy white body, and then they look at the chiseled Adonis upper body of Wilder, and they just don't know. They don't know what they don't know, and they
Also, they
automatically
don't realize
assume.
Innit?
staying
Got beaten by
calm.
a fat white man.
But listen, what they also don't understand is calmness, right? So knowing how to breathe in a fight can also help you. You know what I'm saying?
Excellent point.
The guy that's more calm and collective usually has the advantage over the guy who's more. You could both be emotional, but you could channel your emotion versus the guy who's getting anxiety through his emotions, and then he starts to pass out. Basically, that's what
Mhm.
that's what Wilder is. Wilder's an emotional person. He
He's
doesn't know how to
wicked.
channel that.
No, 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 no. Not just Wilder, bro. All the LDBC members are just emotional people, bro.
Well, I'm not
Look
talking.
at
I
them
mean, I don't know
bitch
if they box,
every
LT.
fuck, bro.
Know about the guy
LDBC
that boxes.
members bitch every fucking time they get the chance. And if they don't have the chance, they'll make up something just to bitch about something, bro. That's straight up bitchness, like, bro. It reminds me of just bitches, bro, that just want to complain about something, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the bitches are on a fucking rag. Sorry if I'm disrespectful, but they have it coming.
They got woman tendencies, LT.
Exactly, bro. Thank you, bro. Well, why am I the only one talking Talking trash about these guys, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
we need to talk
bro,
trash, guys.
what
This is
kind
the
of
this is
channel
the
did I join,
moment.
bro? Are
This
you
is the
guys
fucking
LDBC
moment.
members or what's going on here? Fucking faggots, bro.
Shout out to the
I'm with you,
almighty
man. Like,
LDBC.
yeah, that's
Shout out
why I
to the
made that
almighty.
video. That's why I'm.
TV channel.
Hey, by the way, guys, let me just read a quick super chat here. All right, Brandon Veles, thank you for your contribution. He says he would have beat Fury with just boxing skills. Okay, he doesn't have any. Don't take away his knockdown. Genetics point is invalid. Mike Tyson was mad brolic. Don't take away his knockdown. Genetics point to is invalid. I'm not getting it.
Mike Tyson was a way better skill fighter than Deontay Wilder. He understood, for the most part, he understood, breathing. He understood calmness. I'm not saying that Wilder never had it. It's just that when things go bad for Wilder, he especially if he's emotional about the person in front of him, he looks like he could lose the plot. He definitely loses the plot, and that's why you see the mouth open. Because when you're getting punched and your anxieties are running high, you start to gas out a lot quicker. People that don't know that, you never boxed before. That's basically, or you never got into a fight, or maybe you did. Maybe you did. Hold on.
Who's that?
Maybe you did. Real quick, man. Maybe you did, but you don't understand. You don't have understandings of ebbs and flows in a fight. You don't have a grasp of it. So when you're fighting somebody who does, he's gonna fuck you up.
That's
Yeah,
true,
exactly.
but the fact of the matter is Tyson was never known for his conditioning. He was never some conditioning maniac. The dude, all of his knockouts were early on. He had early round knockouts. And then later on in the rounds, he slowed down. So,
But he has composure. He has composure, Kevin from Chicago. He definitely has composure. And that's something you don't overlook. Especially when you're
5'11".
Especially when you're in
heavyweight.
Yeah, especially when you're an emotional wreck. The guy who's
What
more
about
calmer.
what about Tony Tucker and the Mitch Green fights?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I mean, sorry. But Brandon Veles, who donated, I think he's saying that if Wilder managed to drop Fury, so if he had a little bit of skill and that power, he would have beat Tyson. Oh, Tyson! Like he was talking about Mike Tyson, Fury. No, even if he had a little bit of skill, he wouldn't have beaten
right.
Tyson Fury. Come on.
It depends which Mike Tyson you're talking about, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? The 80s Mike Tyson,
No.
not the...
Tyson Fury.
Oh, I see.
A little bit of skill.
No, I
That's
think
not
Wilder had the wrong tactics. He put too much energy in those jabs in the first round. He was really going to the body hard, but I think he was getting blocked most of the time.
Yeah, maybe.
Those big bombs he was throwing and not missing.
I know he had Fury.
That too.
I know he had Fury confused in that first round, though, in the beginning.
I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I thought, what's this? He's jabbing to the body. What was it, Christmas?
Yeah. He only did it for one round, though. It was useless, bro.
What did Malik Scott do then? What was his whole point of him being there?
He literally said he's gonna train him and teach him things he already did. What the fuck? How's that gonna help you?
Absolute shite.
How's that gonna help you? Please tell me.
We didn't see him execute any of those moves that he did in the Instagram video.
This guy, no man. This guy
is untrainable. He's untrainable. He's not humble enough to learn. Get stripped of the basics.
But
hey guys,
Mark Breland already proved that. Mark Breland said he's untrainable. Yeah, that's facts. Hell yeah. Malik Scott laid down for this guy, man. He got knocked out in one round by Wilder, bro.
Hey, this is guys. I have a good comment here from a super chat that someone said earlier. He said LDBC want to move on, but the genuine boxing fans and boxing world want to move on from the PBC isolation island, especially the crazy Haymonites. It's true though. Maybe this is one step forward because now, listen, if you look at the welterweight division, the younger welterweights that are coming up, they're not with the PBC, right?
Yeah, man. Big up to those T's, man.
Yeah, and then you look at the heavyweight division, they're losing control. I mean, Ruiz was a champion for a little bit. He lost those belts. Then Wilder just lost now.
They were
So
they were supposed to
Virgil
set
is
up
Golden Boy. Who
Karnacki for a
said
title shot.
Virgil's with Golden Boy, bro? He's not with
Yeah.
PBC. I don't know who said that.
no, he's the zone. Yeah, but they
Oh.
PBC does
Yesterday,
have the other
Boots
guy.
Ennis.
What?
Boots Ennis is with PBC.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Bro,
That's what I was
fucking
No, he's not.
Spence,
No, he's
bro,
not.
is fucking like holding the fucking belts for
Boots-
hostage, bro. That
Oh,
kid
no,
needs to
please,
fucking
please.
fight, bro. With or without an eye, bro. I'm sick of that fucking pirate eye having you, bro.
Virgil
Boots,
Ortiz, that's my guy at 147, man.
Yeah, but Boots, man.
Nah, Virgil Ortiz.
Nah, yeah, I'm with Virgil too. I'm just saying, Boots is he's not PBC though. He has he has his own promotional company. He does
Oh,
business.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
good.
Nah, he's not
Good for him.
PBC.
Yeah, that's why everybody. He
I
is
don't
under
know.
Heyman's contract.
Hold on. I want to hear Jimmy.
Everyone keeps saying that, oh, go ahead. Keep. Go ahead.
Jimmy.
Yes,
You want to
I
say
was going to
something?
say. Well, Boots Ennis is under contract with Al Heyman. He cannot fight. In fact, he can't even negotiate with any other promotion without written consent of Al Heyman. He can have his own promotional management team. Heyman's just an advisor, but while under contract with the PBC, he's unable to even negotiate. As much as that sucks, because I like Boots.
All right, so it's the same thing as like Spence and Charlo. They got their own shit, but really, I ain't. Hell yeah.
It's the same thing as Lions on the promotion.
Somebody talking.
Well, you just heard of mine.
Yeah, right. All right, people, mute your fucking mics, man. Jesus Christ. Come on. Mute your mics if you're not talking, you have background noise and shit. Come on. Anyways, LT wants to shit on the LDBC, and I agree with the guy. They can't get away with this shit. They cannot get away with this, man. They talk so much shit, and now they just want to move on. We had a great fight.
Yeah.
Both guys are warriors.
Do you guys want? Do you want a controversial opinion?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't think it's just the LDBC, man. I think it's just Americans.
You know what?
I think you guys you don't take L. You don't take L's well.
I'm not American, so I cannot speak.
Nah, it's not us. Don't say us. Don't say us.
That's
Who wants
not true.
to take on
'cause you
this
can't-
one?
Yeah, that's not true, bro.
A lot of Americans don't even like Wilder.
Facts.
No, I'm not just talking about Wilder. I'm talking in general now. You guys don't take L's well, man. I've noticed.
Name another.
I agree.
Name another.
Nah, I'm joking.
What?
Name another boxer that was like Wilder that don't take L's well.
You guys in general, man. I've noticed you go back to your like, say you think you're like some Eastern European. You think you're Polish,
nigger.
you know, because you're
Freaking nigger, that's what he is. It's a freaking
yeah. He might as well be to me. He thinks he's Polish. Actually, I've been around.
Who thinks they're
people a
Polish?
lot.
Who thinks they're
Kevin.
Kevin from the Congo and fucking David.
He's a nigger from the Congo.
I asked you, who doesn't take L's well?
You for a start, man. You're
Who
the
was
biggest. You're just as big as bitch as the LDBC, man. I've been listening to you.
The
You're just the
LDBC
same
is
as
full of
them.
niggers.
Right,
The LDBC is full of niggers.
All right, who's saying that
The
N word? I'm gonna
LDBC, they
kick
are
you out.
niggers.
Hey, who's saying that?
I don't know. I'm gonna kick you the fuck out.
I know who it is. I know. Time out. I know who that was.
What the fuck?
I kicked them off. I kicked them off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Thank you.
Making accusations about can't take L's well. Who, man? Name someone else. Let's see it. Let's hear it. Is there another fighter you can
Come
take?
on, bring it on. Who takes good L's?
All right. How about you for a start, man? You hype up Polish guys because you think you're Polish or whatever. You know what I mean? Because your grandma, granddad was Polish.
Americans. Talking about Americans. What are you talking about? Who doesn't take the L well? Who lost and didn't accept defeat? Can you name one?
For a start, I'll give you that guy. I'll give you the. Who was it? Jimmy was talking about this now. The heavyweight division's trash because there's no Americans on top.
I never said that.
No, it's true. No, Jimmy's.
No, this guy's delusional.
About
Okay,
what?
I get
No,
his
I'm
point.
not
I get his
delusional.
guys.
Listen, I've been watching the LDBC and you guys on YouTube for a while. You don't take. No.
Try not to go hard.
Aaron, what are you doing on here?
I'm surprised that you guys are so shocked by this. It's just, it's quite obvious to me.
Oh, and the British fans are not delusional.
They are.
Listen, I'm a non-biased fan, mate. I'm a non-biased fan. I want the best fighter to win, and the best fighter did win.
The thing is, right, what you guys don't get, I'm going to educate you guys. Like, in the UK, the major sport is football, right? So they're used to home and away. Yeah, fuck you, man. They're used to like sports going home and away. So you go and play in France, you go and play in Spain, you go and play in Italy. You guys aren't used to that. You've got your hand egg, fucking American football, whatever. It's, you know, the World Series of football
as well.
It's all based in the United States. You got basketball, which is pretty much an American sport. You got baseball. All right, there's a few other countries playing that, but it's
What
pretty
does
much
this have to do with anything?
Well, you guys are mugging off the LDBC. No, it's got everything to do with it. You guys are mugging off the LDBC. I'm just pointing out that it's actually more of an American thing. The blacks are just a bit more emotional over there, so they'll, you know, come online and start mouthing off a bit more. But this is an American thing more than anything.
Why do you think me saying that the heavyweight division is thin is me shitting on not being able to take an L?
From Britain.
To some extent, yeah.
What's that?
To some extent, yeah.
Time Britain
Well,
America
I think you're saying, you're saying that because he's a British champion. But list the top 10 champions. List the top 10 right now in the heavyweight division. And if you're going to tell me you don't think this is fucking a joke compared to the 1960s, 70s, 80s.
Even 90s. Even the 90s.
Facts, I agree.
Hey, by the way, I don't think. Well, hold on. No, nobody shitted on Lennox.
You guys live in a bubble over there, so right.
Nah, man, listen.
Hold on.
Nobody shitted on Lennox Lewis, by the way. Nobody shitted.
But Americans really do.
Nobody can fucking hear me.
Because prior to the 1990s, the USSR for a start.
Most American fans didn't even support Wilder.
Right. Exactly.
Hold on, yeah. I'm just talking in general now, because everyone's mugging off the LDBC, I agree.
Hey, but, you know what? Bro, we could turn that shit around and say the same thing about your people. This motherfuckers was booing Usyk. Yes you can, because they was booing. Now hold on, let me talk, bro. They was booing Usyk's goddamn national anthem. No U.S. guy would do that shit. I guarantee. That's only UK shit. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, bro.
Turn that shit back to that's something you don't get. See, in football, right, in Europe, right, actually, the English fans these days are quite docile. If you go to like Serbia, Turkey, Greece, Ukraine, Russia, Poland. If you go there for an away game, forget about getting booed, man. You're gonna get fucking messed up by the away fans. You guys.
Wait, hold on. Did you see the? Did you follow the Euro? Did you follow the Euro?
Right.
Wait, hold on.
Listen to me.
England against Italy.
Ultras, right? Look up ultras in Europe, and England is fucking minor compared to them. Check out Serbia.
But you're comparing yourself.
Hold on, bro. When it comes to the British fans, right? That's because whenever they pick a fight, they lose, so they learn better than to pick a fight with us.
Yeah, you're comparing. You're talking about fucking the Balkans and shit.
Hold on. Now there's some Australian guy or something there, yeah.
And they fucking helping with the ring.
Yeah, fuck off, man. Your parents loved, what is it, Eastern Europe or wherever you're from so much they moved you about as far away from there as possible. Get out of here, man.
Fury's Irish. Tyson Fury's Irish gypsies.
I'm just saying, dude. Like when it comes to the British fans, like they stopped picking fights because they kept losing, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, look at your fighters, man. You guys have been taking L's, man. Straight L's.
Where'd you come from?
Oh, did Jeff Horn take a loss?
I'm not Australian, bro.
Jeff Horn is
not. Let me guess, New Zealand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great boxing.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Right now,
he's never been knocked out. That was so funny, isn't it?
Jimmy, go ahead. Jimmy.
Well, no, I was going to say, no, the UK, you can't shit on the UK. For an island that size and a population that size, they turn out a lot of good boxers. Nothing but respect to the UK. So I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying everybody gets fucking wild up. Like I said, my boy Mickey went over there and beat Shane Neary. He got a bottle off the side of his head. They were fucking pelting him with debris.
Yeah, so they were
People emotional. Shit happens, man.
No, I haven't really got that much respect for the UK. I'm just keeping it real here. You know, it's just I'm talking about the LDBC and American fans in general. They don't take L's well. They don't.
Yeah, neither does.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
he
just
ain't
the
lying
truth.
about America, bro.
Hey, neither does
Wait,
the
hold on,
UK.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Didn't can you guys hear me?
completely disagree. The UK, they do take an L well. They've gotten used to it by now.
Wait, hold on, hold on.
Well,
Didn't
he's passionate.
hey, Jimmy.
Passionate fans should never take
Fucking
an L
shit,
well.
nobody
If you
can hear
truly get behind your guy and you have passion for it, you should
Yo,
be able to
guys.
take it well. It should bother you. You
I
know, I
always
mean,
have a
really.
problem with the English fans. You see why I always this is a prime example why I always shit on the English fans. Just delusional, know it all, arrogant, better than everybody. This is prime example. Right
Actually,
here.
I
When it
represent.
comes to the heavyweight division,
Do you know what? I actually represent Europeans more. So when I hear all these when I hear all these deracinated Europeans from America, from Australia or New Zealand, all these shitholes talking, smack about Europe, which you guys do, I'm gonna come back and maybe I'll talk some shit back.
Hey, no one talks crap about Europe, man. Because I mean, Usyk, Loma, those guys are holding it down, bro. Josh Taylor.
Man, I agree.
It's just the English dudes, man. Like, and the British dudes, like they get behind these fighters and they think they're like I'm gonna be honest, man. I respect the fact that you get behind your guys, but dude, some of these UK fans, when other fighters go there, they get treated like shit and they usually end up winning.
yeah.
My favorite heavyweight right now is Usyk. So Usyk, sorry.
Facts.
That's
good for
nice,
you.
isn't it?
Good for
It's
you.
all about turncoat, isn't it? Don't support your own. That's what Deontay Wilder was crying about. That you don't get the support from the whole of America. White American fans would rather support the Pacquiao or the foreign fighter.
I love Usyk. I love Loma. Josh Taylor's doing good work. You know what I mean? Fury's doing good. He's a bit of a degenerate, but yeah, man, I'm not like that. And I respect fighters more around the world. Pacquiao, love Chocolatito, love all these guys, man. But I'm just talking about this subject on this video is LDBC, and I agree. I don't really want to say what they are, but I think Americans in general, they're just
racially biased. It's not Americans though. I've seen Mexicans take their loss, like Mexicans in America take their loss pretty well. Like that, when a fighter of their guy loses or something, they take it well. The thing with Wilder is he made it super political. Like he made it something bigger than boxing. He kept saying Fury had the complexion for the protection, all this type of shit. So to them, this fight wasn't just a boxing match. It was like supposed to be a political statement.
Well, his fans were using terms.
They wrapped this fight, bro. Like this Tyson Fury.
Let's get him on.
Bro, they wrapped this fight of Tyson Fury into this like Black Matters live whatever, this Black Power movement where they are the kings and stuff like that, bro. Like it's ridiculous, bro. Like it's beyond what mind boggles me, bro, when they try to like connect boxing to like this discrimination thing, worldwide movement and shit like that, bro. Like if Tyson Fury, bro, hold on. Like if Tyson Fury did this fucking humanity crime, or what is it called when the army does a crime humanity crime or something like that?
Crimes against humanity.
Yeah, crimes against humanity, bro. Like if Tyson Fury they painted Tyson Fury like if he was this boogie, bro, this boogeyman, bro, that just came straight from hell, willing to cheat, drug the guy with waters and shit. Like it was just crazy, bro. Like I swear to God, man, these guys were up onto something, bro. The fact that they were able to connect that, bro, with crimes against humanity, crimes against black people, crimes against everything, bro. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, bro, these guys are smoking this shit, bro. Some really good shit, bro. I was just waiting. I was just waiting for this movie to end, bro. Like, when is this fucking movie to end? When is this fucking movie about to end? And then I see a flash of light, bro, when fucking Tyson Fury just knocks the fuck out of fucking Wilder. No leg Wilder, of course. Just like lifts my fucking spirit and say, fuck yeah, bro. Fuck the LDBC.
of this fight, just
I heard
like
him say,
debunk
I heard him
all
say
the
they need to do their
conspiracy
own thing.
theories that
Like,
they've
they
been
need to make their own promotions because they're getting cheated out. That's what they're saying. So you're right. And
I
for you to
mean,
lump us Americans in with that crowd, you're clueless. You're clueless.
Oh yeah, and I
that's what I'll
forgot to
say.
mention my other guy, man.
Most Americans don't even support the LDBC, and I'll take it a step further. Most Black American boxing fans don't even support them, bro. They're just the most vocal, I think.
Ooh,
I
They got a
agree.
lot, they got a lot
I
of
agree.
support. Man. Look at some of them streams. They got like 600, 700 viewers.
Bro, of course
Yeah,
they
but
are the
that's not
most
that
fucking
much,
vocal,
dude.
bro. I
Like,
agree with you, dog. They are the bitches of the LDBC, bro. Tell me, who are the most vocal, bro? Who are the ones that tell you, I'm in my period, something hurts, I don't think you're doing right tonight. What is going on? Why are you not telling me? What's going on with my King Wilder? Those are some straight up bitch ass tendencies, bro. And I don't know what else to say, bro, but they are straight up bitches, bro, and fuck the LDBC.
Well, I just want to say one thing too, man. What sucks, and I do because I have a lot of black friends, and Twitter. I met a lot of great guys and a lot of good dudes out there who are black who know boxing, new media, for instance. He's got a great channel, and I just want to say props to them because you think they go at white people hard. I'll tell you right now, be a black man and speak out against them. Watch how they turn on them. So I just want to say props to the black dudes who call the LDBC out on their bullshit because nobody gets it as hard as them. They're called race traders. They're called fucking Uncle Tom, Sambo, like terrible fucking things. So it takes even more balls to stand up. So I just always want to make sure we don't lump it all in together because that's a disservice to the guys who stand up to them.
Yeah, but the LDBC, right?
Bro, not just that, bro. Not just that, bro. One of the LDBC members said "spick." Bro, one of the LDBC members, I can't remember which one, yelled out to a guy in chat and called him "spick." Spick.
Yeah,
Can you fucking believe that shit, bro?
Yeah,
And they are the ones that are crying, oh, these guys are racist. Oh, these guys are fucking racist. They are white power, whatever. You know what I mean? They're skinheads. They're racist because, they're not going against Wilder. And then you hear him out saying, "Spick," coon, and shit like that, bro. What the fuck, man? Like, bro, they're straight up bitches, bro, and fuck the LDBC.
Fatality. All right. Ed wants to say something. Ed, go ahead.
Yeah, he's going on there. I just think the LDBC are, mostly black Americans. They're the more emotional than the other fans. But, I see similarities there, man, with the Afro-Saxons, the Anglo-Saxons over there, all of those groups. They're kind of similar to me. I don't know. I think, the black Americans over there are more emotional. I think they're all about the same. I've seen so many biased fans from America. And you can talk about the UK, I've got my feelings about the UK, the system, the way it's run there. I'm not a fan, don't get me wrong. But the average person, they're more fair, they're more grounded, they're more down to earth. It's just the American fans in general. It's just, I've seen a lot of bad fans, that's all I'm going to say.
One of the worst excuses I heard. One of the worst excuses I heard is the rapper coming out with negative energy. I mean, that's the worst excuse.
Yeah, that's an excuse?
Yeah.
He was cursed by Gypsy.
According to some crazy lady. Yeah.
I didn't finish the video, Bucho. I gotta finish that later, man. But there's some pretty shocking shit there. I mean, the one I've heard.
I was gonna say the worst one, dude, is the fucking kid who works for CR, whatever. He has on his shirt. The kid's smoking a blunt while he's driving. He starts talking about how it's all the way connected to the top. There's magic pixie dust. They're feeding them. It's just crazy the levels they'll go to, like fucking cover this shit.
I've been hearing this, and I think this is going to be the next big theory. So the next big theory is that Fury was like spraying something on his gloves, like an alcohol spray, that made Wilder drunk when he was in there. Because they kept saying, why did Wilder look drunk when he's moving? And they're saying it's something like on the gloves, like a spray or something, like alcohol.
You know what? I don't think they're gonna. No, I think it's over. There's no more excuses. I think they know what happened last time, and it's over, man. it's just gonna get
The only
exposed
thing
again. They're
they're
just gonna
clinging
start.
on
soaking his raps. His raps
Yeah,
are
no,
soaking
no, petrol.
petrol.
Hey, Buto,
Yeah,
they always knew it wasn't true.
I know.
But now they can't get away with it because there's evidence to prove that it was a lie. So now that they know that they can't get away with it, they won't promote it no more.
Right. By the way,
Well,
I wanna
sorry,
thank
Rudy.
this guy called Nosferatu in the chat. Thank you for your contribution. He says, "Get some LDBC ninjas in the call and
Oh,
break
come
up
on.
and break up the circle jerks." He says we're circle jerking here. Well, we don't have an LDBC, guys. I don't know what
It's
to
an
tell you,
open
man.
panel.
They're welcome.
I agree to some extent, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
well,
welcome.
they're
We're
welcome.
arguing against what we're saying. There's literally nothing we've said that's factually incorrect. So just someone here trying to play devil's advocate, which wouldn't be possible. Just be
Feel free to
delusional.
join.
The name of the show is LDBC Excuses. I think that was pretty evident.
But hold on, I want to say something. Ed, you're saying that there's other groups similar to the LDBC. Is that what you're saying, or other?
I wouldn't say similar because
Okay.
the Black Americans, they're more emotional than the other groups. And they're more likely to, you could say they're less cut, I guess, right? They're more likely to like voice their opinions. They're more delusional. But I've seen a lot of groups over in the States. They're just very biased, man. Very biased. You know, that they've got, especially like say, it's an American of Eastern European descent. They're going to back all the Eastern European fighters and then shit on the UK fighters or guys from that, right? And then you've got the Black Americans. They're on a different level to other people. But I've seen a lot of that bullshit.
Well, I've seen crazy Mexicans. I've seen crazy Filipinos as well. When Pacquiao was destroying everybody.
The Pacquiao fanboys, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But
I mean, you
know,
find it
I've seen
everywhere.
Basis of all race, you know, of course, because we're on YouTube and social media, we'll see a certain segment that would do it worse than anybody, like the LDBC. But there are fan bases that are fucking insane of all race.
I've lived in Southeast Asia, man. Those guys, you know, I've got a lot of respect for people in Southeast Asia, man. Cool people, very nice, you know. Admittedly, you know, if you fuck with them too much, they're very violent. But you know, they're yeah.
See, I'll give you an example, Ed. Like, I'm Puerto Rican. Everybody assumes that I'm crazy Puerto Rican fan, right? But like, they get it from somewhere, right? They don't come with that. They don't come with that like that stereotype out of nowhere. That means that they've bumped into Puerto Rican fan bases that were like a little bit annoying or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they automatically assume that I'm like that.
Yeah, you are.
Puerto Ricans
He's a crazy Berlanga fanboy.
Yeah.
Right. If you guys heard me, you would know that I said Berlanga from the beginning. I was like, I don't like that pattern he's in. 16
You keep
straight
saying that now.
first round workouts. No,
keep
I
saying
always
that
said that. I was,
Yeah, come on, recognize you were calling us haters,
Oh, the hype
devils.
out, man. You guys are liars, man.
Hey, what I'll fight.
So I have a question for this panel. We've been hearing a lot that the Wilder that showed up for the third fight beats any other heavyweight on that given day. How many of you agree with that?
Disagree.
No.
Disagree totally.
He got
Usyk
tired after
would have
2
just
rounds.
danced him around for 4 rounds and had him fucking guppying, and then would have fucking just did the same thing.
I don't know if
But
Usyk
guys-
would have stopped him. I think Usyk would have just been too cautious, but he would have schooled him, man. He would have
but-
really
Guys, I'm
schooled him.
Mexican.
But again, it would have been the same under the same conditions. I'm telling you right now, he wasn't really like KO'd concussive. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee he didn't even get a concussion out of that. He couldn't breathe. I don't think you guys understand how
come on,
that's, you know what I'm
Jimmy.
saying? No, dude.
No, you
Have
can't.
you ever boxed, bro? When you can't breathe, when you're sucking oxygen, it's all right. But listen, why do you think drunk people are always the drunk dude in the car accidents always survives? Because they go
No,
out like that.
I'm just saying, Jimmy, was the pun intended?
What's that? No.
Was the
I
pun
understand what you're saying. No, but I'm saying, bro, I'm telling you, like, when you can't breathe like that, like he could not breathe at all. And when he got up, he was like breathing through his mouth. He wasn't even listening to what the fuck they were saying to him in the corner because he couldn't.
His weight, he couldn't protect his face because he couldn't lift his arms up. It was not just about the breathing. He was just shot.
But but Kevin, he never really keeps his arms up anyway. I'm not saying that you're not right, that the muscles probably made it a lot harder. But he's a guy that's never really kept his hands up, man.
Yeah, and Fury's he's smart. You know what? He's not pushing Wilder. He's just leaning his dead weight on him. So he's staying relaxed. While Wilder's emotional, wasting all his energy, draining his adrenaline, Fury's just relaxed, laying dead weight on his ass.
And you see how Fury easily, instead of going like the 1-2, he went 3-2 on him and just like fucking will bust him up, man. So the 3-2, meaning the hook and then the straight right. The hook, the straight right. He was doing that shit to him the whole fucking... I felt like whenever he needed it, he just did it to him.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Fury's pretty dirty, man. He was getting him in that semi-headlock, uppercutting him.
Oh, he was very dirty.
Fury's dirty.
They both did.
He was fighting like Andre Ward, man. I don't like that style of fighting.
Yeah,
by the way, guys, I want to thank Ed Perez in the chat for his contribution. He says, I'm Mexican-American and can't stand the LDBC. They make American boxing look bad with all their negative talk. Fury proved them wrong. He did indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to go for like Tank Davis, Devin Haney.
You know that.
Yeah, they're gonna go with Devin Haney and Tank Davis. Davis. I don't know about the Charlos though. Maybe Charlo, but Charlo's a good boxer though. The 154.
They hate Charlo. They hate the younger Charlo.
Okay.
They fucking hate Charlo.
Why?
Like, I don't want to read the title of the video, but there's one where it's like the dumbest, starts with an N, and it's like Ife Ajagba, Jamel Charlo, and AJ.
Because Charlo spoke out against Wilder. He spoke out the week of the fight, and they crucified him.
All he said was race has nothing to do with the skill set, man. That's all he said.
That's all he said, and that's all it took, recognized, to get absolutely crucified.
Yeah, that's all he said. He didn't say I'm not rooting for. He didn't say I'm not rooting for Wilder. He didn't say any of that. All he said was that the skill set itself. They asked him about, does race play into what happened with Fury and Wilder? He said no. All that had to do with skills. That's all he said.
He did say he got killers to handle him though.
Yeah. If they're gonna threaten it, if you're gonna side threaten him, like try to threaten him, he's gonna do it too. That's all.
Yeah. No,
I put the video in the text channel if anyone wants to see it.
I want to see that shit. I want to see what the hell they saying.
I don't know. Those guys are a bunch of weirdos. I still remember when AB was undefeated and they were high on that guy.
I remember that, yeah.
And then he
AB was never really good.
Next May,
he got arrested again.
Yeah, he got arrested again, for a warrant in Kentucky. It's sad, bro, honestly. Like, I don't want to see him go to jail and shit, but, man, just him as a fighter, man, he just don't let his hands go. And he's just not that good, bro.
Watch the LDBC. They're going to go against Virgil Ortiz next, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the next fighters they're going to hate is Virgil because they'll all be Ennis fans. They'll all be Ennis fans. Like, they'll be diehard Ennis fans, and I think they might end up hating a lot on Inoue. I think if Inoue gets
they don't care about that. They don't care about. They don't watch those weight divisions. I don't think they give a fuck.
No, they don't watch them, but they make sure to hate on them. Remember when Chocolatito was like top 3 pound for pound?
Yeah,
they used to hate on that motherfucker like crazy, man. They would never watch his fights, but they'd always be like, "Oh, look at Pumpkin Face," because he'd get all touched up.
And then L Dog when Chocolatito finally lost. That's when they started. This is your pound for pound boxer. Like he's getting knocked out.
Oh, I told you so. And it's like, well, what do you mean? Like,
what happens? That's what
never
happens
even
when you
watched
fight
him
50.
fight.
They're not real boxers.
That's when you fight 50 top 10 opponents in a row.
Exactly.
Right? You gotta lose a fucking fight, man.
Exactly.
Hey guys, I wanna thank this guy called I Need Some Old School in My Life. He says
I agree with 50.
It's super chat over here. He says a one-sided beatdown. Wilder didn't take his loss like a man. He let boxing fans down. He let us brothers down. Most of all, he let down himself. So he left everybody down. All right.
But you know what still remains to be seen?
I kind of disagree
What
with that.
is he gonna say something later? Like, is he gonna come out with a statement like he did the second time, where a lot of the excuses came later on? I still want to see that.
Bucho, he reacted like a guy who really tried to win the fight. Now, yes, most guys be like, let me give you a handshake. But we all know that Wilder's not the only guy that's done that before. There's other guys that lost a fight. After the fight, they walked out. Look, Triple G, I love him, but he did that, and I don't blame him because he felt like he was robbed against Canelo Alvarez. There was Fernando Vargas versus Felix Trinidad. He didn't shake his hand after. That was, bro. They those dudes try to kill each other. And in this one, he talked a lot of shit and then got his ass beat the fuck up, bro, by a guy calling him a bitch.
That's what makes it even worse, dude. Is the fact of lies, and then he threw people character assassination of Mark Breland.
So he can't. Even there was still there was. Yeah, right. What is he going to say then at that point?
Yeah, hey, fucking. But I mean, to come around and say, no, I'm not doing the respect and sportsmanship thing. It's like, why? When have you ever started? When have you ever done it?
Yeah. This is the thing. Like, I actually did see a clip. Someone posted it on Twitter of Triple G that he didn't do a ring interview, but they interviewed him like after he got changed in the locker room, and he said, "Well, first of all, congrats to Canelo."
That's true. That is true. Yes, he did. Yeah.
He was pissed off when it happened. Of course, you would be. It was a close ass fight. It was a fucking war.
Yep.
But this fight, dude, you got your ass beat. You fired people and assassinated their character over allegedly drugging you. The guy comes out and pretty much does the same thing to you, and you don't even say like, "Hey, listen, man, we went to war. Congrats, you won the trilogy or something."
Because L-Dog, Fury forgave him in a way. I mean, Fury could have been still mad about it, right? Like, you accused me of cheating, whatever. Fury still went over there and tried to shake his hand. And
gave him an out. He was trying to give him an out. Like, let's put this behind us.
Yeah.
By not shaking his hand, he just kept all the other shit going because, you know what I mean? By shaking his hand, he would have almost had it's almost like, okay, I accept you beat me. So I guess all that shit I said and all the shit my sycophant said was a lie. So he can't acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm. By the way, in the chat, Santos Romo, thank you for your contribution. He says, can Tank Davis really be considered the next king for the LDBC if he's only 5 inches? Okay, he's not 5'2". He's like 5'5". 5'4". No,
he's not the king. But you know those dwarves, old movies that carry the king's shield. One of those guys.
Well, I think he's 5'4", but
can he become the king, Jimmy? Can he become the king? Can he become the new king?
Spence will be the next guy. They'll say Errol Spence is pound for pound number 1 as soon as he gets a tune-up fight under his belt. All that kind of shit.
Errol Spence dropped out of the biggest fight he was going to have in his career. He did himself a little bit in like last time against Pacquiao.
That's what I'm saying. These guys are taking L's, bro. These guys are taking L's. Like, their favorite fighter, right? Deontay Wilder just got beat the fuck up. I mean, that was the biggest L. But Errol Spence gets the biggest fight of his life and has to pull out due to an injury. Like,
that was supposed to be the passing of the torch.
Yeah, but
yep.
Why did they choose? No, but the thing is, the problem was from the beginning. And why did the LDBC choose Wilder as their king when he's not even the most talented one? Like, why didn't just focus on Spence, for example? I mean, he has way more talent than Wilder. Heavyweight. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's because Wilder, he did give them a lot of interviews, so they kind of felt like they had a connection with him. I mean, I understand it. If a guy goes out of his way to give interviews to YouTube channels, like a small YouTube community, you would kind of feel like, okay, this is our guy. But they just took it way too far when they were like, the whole cheating thing, man. If they had kept it real, Wilder probably never would have came up with these excuses.
No, he wouldn't have. They came up with them for him. He repeated them. They all made the videos first, and he repeated them. And listen, this all came down to this, and I hate to hop on it, but it's true. It's race. If Tyson Fury was a black man and a black American who beat him, or a black from anywhere, that would have went down like that. They just could not accept the fat into their eyes. Like all right, for instance, you have in your video, dude, that doctor, the guy with the hood on, supposed to be a doctor. New Media broke it down perfectly. He's got 306,000 subscribers to his channel. 306,000. And he gets on and says, he reads the headline. He's like, oh, they knocked knocked him out. So he didn't even buy the fight. And he's in there saying, it had to have been thrown. Somebody call me. Tell me. It had to be thrown. So you didn't even watch the fucking thing and you're commenting on it. And it comes down to this. He could not handle it, like news media said. It comes down to this. They can't deal with the white man beating them. That's the bottom. That's the long and short of it. The rest of it's all window dressing and smoke.
Well, the other one I heard was
hold on. That clown, you talking about Umar?
Yeah.
That dude Umar, people always say, I heard someone like Schultz, like this big comedian, he's got like 1 million subscribers, and I love that dude, he's hilarious, like even though I don't agree with him, the dude's just so funny. Like what? That dude's the biggest piece of shit. And they're like, people, I keep hearing that, like, oh yeah, I may not agree with him, but he's funny, man, he's a funny character. It's like, that dude is a piece of shit. What are you talking about? And I
can't lie, man, I do find him funny, but it's funny to laugh at him rather than with him.
Yeah.
Well, new media labeled.
No, you can't let that dude slide. You can't let that dude slide and pass it off as, he's just a funny character, man. That dude really shapes minds and pushes agendas and narratives and shit.
New media called it, Kevin. He set up straight. He goes, he doesn't like white people. The dude's the biggest race hustler on YouTube. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
The other one that was funny was Tariq Nasheed's reaction. He was saying that, Wilder, he basically let all the black people down. He said, "How are you gonna let that big old Neanderthal mayonnaise man beat you?"
Oh yeah.
That's what he called him. He called him the mayonnaise man.
All right, but let's flip the script. Let's flip the script. Imagine if a fucking blue checked person on Twitter we used a racial slur and said, "How could you let a big black buck," or some ignorant language from a gone past time, like said something like that, he'd be kicked off Twitter, deplatformed. People would fucking crucify him.
Yeah, right.
It's got to get to the point where you got to be called out on your racism, no matter which way it comes from.
Dude, what they don't realize is,
you know what though? It's like people shouldn't get so emotional about these things, man. It's like
boxing.
That's what I think, man.
Boxing.
I find it funny, man, and I make fun of it. And some people don't like it, and come out. Well, you should make fun of these other people as well. I make fun of whoever the fuck I want to make fun of, and I think these guys are the funniest of them all. That's it.
It's the only thing I've got against like Fury is like I like his banter, but when he's mouthing off non-stop and contradicting himself from one sentence to the other, that's where I go against Fury, But like, I don't mind. Yeah, he gets annoying, exactly right. But if he's going to mouth off, even if he's throwing a few racial slurs, I won't give a fuck about that. Like, who cares, man? Like, people becoming that much of a pussy these days?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But it's just
that's what I agree with, man.
It's got to be equal across the board, and that's when, and it's not. That's when it becomes an issue.
Credit to Wilder for making this fight about race. It made things a lot more interesting for me.
Well, no, he absolutely did, dude. L-Dog, you're 100% right about that.
Yeah, but exactly again, no, that's when right. He made it about race, all right, whatever. But then when it's all over, shake the guy's hand. You won.
Yeah, you made $20 million. You made $20 million to fight this guy. It's not like you guys had a fight in the streets and he beat your ass up.
I think Tyson Fury just had his number, man.
Did you guys see that?
He beat him from the beginning. Like,
he beat him the first fight, in my opinion. He beat him that first fight.
Even before they got in the ring, recognized. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, he beat him.
Just
he got
mind games, man. Yeah, when he told Water, he was like, "I already beat you."
But you know what's funny?
I'll beat you again. When he told him that shit, I was like, "Oh yeah, you got him."
150. You know what's funny? Bernard Hopkins used the same tactics to beat Tito Trinidad. They only fought once, right? But he got in his mind before the fight. He was
the flag.
He was aggressive towards Tito. He was getting up in Tito's face, starting trouble.
Beans and rice. Remember Hopkins would like bring a bag of rice and beans.
Yeah, he bring a bag of rice and beans.
And then the worst part is
burned the Puerto Rican flag.
Yeah, he threw it on the ground.
He was in Puerto Rico. He took the Puerto Rican flag.
He had to run.
Threw it on the floor.
He had to run out of there. They were gonna kill him. He fucking ran.
Hey, but credit, like we look back at this and we think, man, Like, you know, it was at the time we were heated, but dude, it made for like such a big build up, such an interesting fight. Like,
dude, then he went in there, L Dog. He went in there and absolutely schooled Trinidad. Not only that
man,
he started outboxing him. Then from outboxing him, punching him hard. Then from punching him hard to stopping him. That you gotta give a man respect for that. I mean, it was crazy, yeah. You know that the way he got in his head, but it is what it is. But now they don't like it when it's the other way around, when it's Fury doing it to their boy. You know, because I'm sure a lot of people loved Bernard Hopkins shutting down Trinidad in the Garden in front of all those Puerto Rican fans. You know,
but wasn't that the end of his career too, though? Trinidad was already through a lot of wars.
No, he was too small to become he wasn't a middleweight. He was a maximum a super welterweight.
He definitely
was borderline because he was a big super welter.
Right,
maybe.
No, he wasn't a big
compared to
super
Hopkins,
welter.
he was smaller. He was a smaller guy than Hopkins was. And
because Hopkins went up later as well. So.
To be fair, Tito was 28 and he had just killed Joppy. He had just murdered him in 5 rounds. So let's be fair about that. So there was no sign of him declining, really. You know,
no, it's just Hopkins was much better and much bigger, man. That's
right.
It, man. That's why Trinidad didn't want to fight Keith Holmes. I think it was. Remember in the tournament there was a 4-man tournament.
Yeah.
Trinidad
who's the last guy he lost to? Who's the last guy Trinidad lost to? Maybe I'm thinking of that.
Roy Jones.
Yeah, okay, because that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of. I'm not thinking of.
Oh yeah, Roy Jones destroyed him. He was past.
That's because Hopkins. Well, Hopkins is one of my favorites from back then. Man, he was come out of prison angry, and he got boxing later. He took on a lot of tough dudes. Man, he was a good fighter. Boy.
He got stabbed, and he changed his life around, even his diet. That's what I admire about him.
If the LDBC would have been around those days, would they have supported Tito Trinidad or Bernard Hopkins?
Bernard Hopkins.
Especially the stupid thing he said. What was it? I'll never lose to a white boy again. Or something.
White boy.
Oh, well, that was later on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
later on. But they would have supported him because they would have. He was in position to prove that, you know, that he can beat a guy like Trinidad, who had a lot of well-deserved hype. You know, he had just beaten De La Hoya. From De La Hoya, he went up to 154, beat David Reed. He beat Fernando Vargas, went up to middleweight, smokes William Joppy, who was considered the number 1 or 2 middleweight at the time.
Yeah. I heard, well, he was a small middleweight job. Anyways, we're getting into something else here.
He was small.
Apparently, he got beaten by mostly in sparring or some shit.
Actually, history.
Yeah. All right. Let's
little history there. Little history there. All right.
Let's get back to.
You guys know William Joppy fought.
Kevin, you paid me.
All right.
You paid me to speak.
Hey, Kevin, what was your prediction? Hey, Kevin, what was your prediction? Oh, you didn't give us a prediction. You ran away. Remember that? You called off.
Kev, man, Kev.
I hope they both.
Why didn't you give a prediction, brother? What was up with that kid?
Yeah, Kevin. Come on.
No, man. I said it's gonna be dangerous.
I can't hear him. He's breaking up.
You're breaking up. He's doing it on purpose. He wants to get away from the topic.
Yeah. He wants a way out.
No way out. There's no easy way out.
I picked, what did I have him for the 9th? I went too short, both fights. I picked Fury by knockout in the 5th round in the fucking second fight. He knocked him out in the 7th. In this one, I picked him Fury knockout by 9th. He knocked him out in the 11th.
I have the prediction.
Too bad. Nobody hit it on the right round, not even Gonzalo.
Yeah, bro. I picked.
I know, dude. That's your balls, dude, because you let us know the other night. Remember?
I did hit it on the right round.
I picked the.
No, I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. I'm making it. I'm joking, dude.
Got that from me. I picked the 11th round too.
Hey guys, Pete in the chat is mentioning something interesting. Uncle Pete says, "You guys failing to mention that Trinidad's police hat in that Hopkins fight weighed in at 45 pounds. Remember, he came in with that police hat. That was a heavy one.
Yeah, man.
What did he come in with?
Remember when he came in dancing? I was like, oh man.
But also Trinidad, if I remember correctly, made comments about him being incarcerated too. I think he called him a convict or some other shit.
Oh
Shit gets ugly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Shit and listen, props to fucking him too. Like, people don't realize that prison he came out of in New Jersey back in the 70s, early 80s, man, that was one of the fucking most violent, deadly fucking institutions you could go to.
He was in PA.
Was it a federal? Yeah, PA. What was the name of that place again? That was
bad,
man.
He got charged as an adult. He went to jail from the ages 17 to 22. He did an armed robbery.
Right, Philly, but wasn't he in New Jersey jail too for a while?
He only got 5 years for armed robbery.
Yeah. Armed robbery.
Pennsylvania, dude. I could have swore he did some time in New Jersey too.
No, he's from Philadelphia. Well, I don't know if he did, but he grew up. He was born and raised in the city of Philly, right? And he was out there because it was bad back then. Philadelphia's always been a pretty dangerous city. And he pulled off an armed robbery with some friends, and they got caught. And he did 5 years.
Didn't the guard tell him, "Hey, see you when you come back," and that's what motivated him not
right, right. But then Biggie said the same thing too before him.
They're all liars.
I don't know who to believe.
They just want to romanticize that fucking story. In the chat, somebody says the LDBC support the PBC, which is a dying, corrupt organization because Haymon runs it into the ground. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy, what's going to happen with the PBC now? Is this a big blow?
Didn't they extend the contract with Fox?
Well, yeah, no, they did just extend the contract. They had it because they wanted to get that pay-per-view. But also, the PBC is literally having to put a fight on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day to try to get their allotted. Because what happened once they said, okay, we're going to take on that 4th-year option. It's not an extension. I mean, they didn't re-up. They didn't sign for, extension, but it was an option year. They took it. But because of that, Haymon's now trying to squeeze in some to make the obligated because he's short. He was supposed to give him a minimum of, I think, 12 to 15 or something, but I know he's short, so he's going to squeeze some in, but they're terrible cards. Terrible cards. I just don't see how, I mean, I don't know, too. Now that there's talk that, rumors or whatever, that fucking DAZN might start doing pay-per-views, that's a bad move. I'll cancel my subscription fucking faster than you could say fucking DAZN. Fuck them. That's the reason why I got it. But yeah, no, I don't think the PBC is. I mean, look they're losing all their belts. That's important too, right? Who they have? Are they going to lose Plant? They've lost. They have nothing in the heavyweight. They have welterweight still, but
and their prospects are getting exposed. Kaunaki, Berlanga, because they're doing it the wrong way.
Well, Berlanga's ESPN.
What do you mean the wrong way?
Berlanga's I think he's top rank.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, Nowaki, what about Nowaki? I mean, some of these guys, Jagwa, whatever, they were doing the right thing, no? I mean, they had to step up.
He wouldn't have done that if he was still at the PBC. I'll tell you right now. Do you think fucking Haymon would have matched him against the fucking undefeated dude? It doesn't happen over there.
Yeah, no.
And I mean, look what they're doing. I mean, listen, if anybody wants to know what the fucking PBC is all about, you could tell by how they treat their stars and how they let them fight. And you look at right now, Tank Davis. I mean, he's about to fight Rolly Romero on a fucking pay-per-view. Romero. Are you kidding me?
That's not pay-per-view.
I don't even respect him enough to say his name right, dude. That kid's a clown. I mean, what? You know what I mean, dude? Like, fucking, and it's going to be a pay-per-view? I mean, talk about spitting in your face. It's going to
be Giovanni.
Giovante, yeah, Gervonta. What Giovanni Gervonta, please. What a name, Gervonta. Sounds like a stutter. But listen, Haymon destroyed HBO. Let's make everybody in the industry knows that. Fuck Steve Kim, he'll tell you. They never survived him. He fucking turned HBO boxing so dark to the executives there, it never survived it. So when he left, a couple of years later, they folded tent, went over to Golden Boy, stabbed fucking Oscar in the back, got the loan. And it's, I'm just asking, what has he done? What has been his great contribution in the sport of boxing?
He gave us. He let Wilder fight Fury.
Jimmy. He gave us some free fights. 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 He Remember to
Yep, that was his,
2015?
remember, that was it. Yeah, and it's so funny. The same sycophants who carried his water and licked his balls when that was their thing. Oh, he's the only one giving us free fights, free boxing for all. Like hashtag free boxing for all. Remember those shirts were everywhere at their shows. And now they're the most expensive promotional company in the history of boxing. One of those Haymonites did that tweet where it was $1,200 for like 15 months to follow them. Like if you wanted to buy all their fights. So but the same people who were fucking PBC free boxing, and now it's pay-per-view's the way to go. So there's an underlying thing there that's not boxing.
Two of the biggest fights are coming with the Hell Haymon. Look at Fury Wilder, look at Plant Canelo. Those are two fights he's promoting. He's part of the promotion, so you got to give him credit for that, right?
For what fights? Which fights?
Wilder Fury 3 and
okay. All right, let me talk on the Wilder Fury 3. That became something it wasn't supposed to. Remember, they made that first fight because he was a 400-pound drunk drug addict coming off the couch who they thought at the time, and so did everybody on this panel, that he was a pillow-fisted big man because of his knockout ratio and the boring fight against Klitschko. They looked at that as a name, as a stepping stone. Well, they avoided all the dudes who had some fucking junk on their punches. And next thing you know, wait a minute, holy shit, this dude outboxed us. They get a draw. He had no choice but to fight him again. And then he goes and gets fucking dolly-whopped. So it moved into a third thing. This became something it wasn't supposed to be. Deontay Wilder, this isn't my opinion. This is a statistical. Hey, let me finish, brother. Deontay Wilder has the worst heavyweight resume in the 62-year history of the WBC. That's not even an opinion. That's a statistical fact. Over 4 years more champion.
Yes. Well, Jimmy, for 10 title defenses, I would agree with you there. I mean, that's how that guy got 10 title defenses.
Only one guy was in the top 10. Only one of his title defenses was Ortiz. The guy was probably closer to 50 than 40. And then it was Fury. Other than that, none of those other title defenses, guys were ranked 21st in the world, 19th in the world. He stayed away from everybody. He was offered $120 million guaranteed. A deal so fucking sweet that Lou DiBella was like, this is a no-brainer. You're going to take this. Boom, goes and tries to negotiate, but he didn't have Haymon's approval, so he got fired.
Hey, Jimmy, I remember somebody making the argument that Deontay Wilder should be in the Hall of Fame.
Go
ahead, Kevin.
How was Stavern the champion?
How was who?
Stavern?
Stavern.
He beat Ariola for a
vacant Ariola.
The belt was vacated.
Yeah, by Vitali.
All right, take that fight for instance. Even that fight, Wilder put off. It was the first time, and it was like in the decade that it was even an offer for the heavyweight unification. Stavern against Klitschko. Did you see what Wilder's people did to make sure they would never have to fight fucking Klitschko? They said, okay, right now they're offering step-aside money so they can unify the belt. Everybody knew Klitschko was going to win. So what did fucking Finkel say? No, we want $10 million as a step-aside fee. And then Klitschko's like, I'm making 4.5. You want 10 for step-aside? So obviously he wasn't getting it, even though both fighters said they would put it in writing that whoever won the fight, he would get first crack at for unification. And he said no. He would not take the step aside, and he forced his Mando against Stavern. And he won, of course. And then right off the rip, the first announcement come out of his camp was, we want nothing to do with Klitschko. Well, Finkel said, we're in no rush to see him. And it never happened.
Yeah, going back to the 10 defenses, he never fought mandatories. Really, wasn't White like 3 years waiting for an opportunity he never got?
3 years he was the mandatory, and he never took it. Listen, and I appreciate people agree with that opinion, but that's not an opinion. It's a fact. Somebody did it. They put up all the guys of WBC title weight holders of 3 more year reign, and every single one of them fought top 1, top 2, top 3, Wilder, top 8. 1/8 ranked guy. The rest were all higher. So this isn't an opinion. He is the worst, yet possesses the worst resume of any heavyweight champion in WBC history.
Yeah, can I bring it back to like the American fan base? It's like, I've got a point. It's Usyk and Loma. It's like, as America is like the center of boxing still, those two guys, Usyk and Loma, they should be bigger than they are, man. Especially Loma, the work he's been putting in, and Usyk. They should be big, man. That's
on them, brother. You know why? And I agree with you. They're unbelievable talents. The best around right now, I think. It's the lack of English that hurt them. This country, stupid as it is, whatever, but you can't speak English, they're not going to love you. It's just not going to make you a star. Canelo was already a star because of the Mexican, but even him, he's trying to learn English because he even knows it'll just open up the fucking money gates for him.
Yeah, he's getting more confidence. He's talking English because he knows English, but he's just not confident to do it with the
He's a proud man. Nobody wants to sound silly. You know what I mean? He's a proud kid. He doesn't want to sound like fucking being corrected by people.
But like on a skill set basis, when I look at Usyk and I look at Loma, I'm just like, these guys are fucking amazing.
But remember,
Loma's on a whole different. Yeah, he's on a whole different plane. Nobody
there
has the skills he has.
There are hardcore boxing fans of all race from America that recognize who Lomachenko and Usyk is. Usyk made the big times. I mean, look, I'm not here to say that he's better than Loma. I think L Dog would probably disagree with me with that. I think they're just as good as each other. But like, look at Usyk. Usyk made you understand who he was, right? He went in there and he fought AJ and he beat him. You know, he gave one of his best performance against a top heavyweight over the last 6 or 7 years, right? So he's a guy that people know his name now for beating AJ.
Also, but when I'm looking at Loma, man, I'm just looking at their skill set. Going up in weights, man. The way he was doing it, it's just so impressive.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, you're 100% right, man. The way Loma's going up in weight and he's beating these guys, even in his losses, you can't point to me to him getting schooled. I mean, then you're lying. He got schooled.
Salido went 2 more rounds or 1 more round, he would have lost. Salido would have got knocked out, I think. And that other fight,
Salido, man, but it's
just barely.
Salido was 30.
I don't think there's a fair fight that Lomachenko's lost. I had him beating Salido, and I had the Lopez fight a draw. So whatever.
No, to be fair, with the TO fight, I had that 116, 112.
I disagree. I mean, I had a draw. I think Lomachenko clearly won 5 rounds, and I think there's 1 swing round.
Yeah, I had a draw or 1 round by Teofimo. But listen, you want to know how? Just ask Usyk or go read the comments he said about Lomachenko. He puts him on a pedestal. He's like, he does things that just blow my mind. But a lot of that's a smaller dude. He can do things a little bit different because you're not facing that same knockout power. Those bigger dudes, man, it's just there's more concussiveness behind their punches. So Usyk has to do things a little different.
They both cut off they both cut off the ring pretty much the same. One guy uses the jab because he's bigger. The other guy could just use his fucking feet, and that's the little guy, Lomachenko.
Yeah, one time, listen, I watched a fight once, a Lomachenko fight, with everybody in the room. I was the least impressive to everybody in there. Was Golden Glove champ or ex-pro. And they stood there with their jaws on their chest, and they were all saying the same thing. Man, he would get exhausted. You would just get exhausted fighting him mentally. And then, what's his name? The Jamaican kid, who was a fucking killer, too. He said the same thing. He goes, he goes, I was exhausted. The hand movement, the head movement. He goes, time him. I couldn't even get a rhythm. There was no rhythm. That's what the thing is. Like, boxing it's a violent dance. Remember, Recognize, you and I talked about the rhythm. That's why they always have thump music going on in the gyms. You want to get into rhythm, hitting the bag. And boxers, everybody, if you watch them, have a rhythm. And that's what's so hard about Lomachenko, and his father knew that. Change it up just a little, and it doesn't take much to throw off somebody or change your rhythm. Step to the one side more often. The hand movement goes one direction to the other. Just little things he's constantly changing inside there. The best thing is the Rigondeaux fight showed his talent. I'm sorry.
He's an amazing boxer, man. And Teo shook of him. He don't want to rematch Loma, man. Trust.
No, he doesn't. And the reason being because he thought, psychology-wise, he was like, I got this kid beat. He doesn't want to fucking even attempt to feel my power. And then when Loma says, okay, I'm going to fucking test his shoulder. Enough rounds have gone by. Let's do it. And when he turned it on, it was a different level. I thought fucking he worked Teo in some of those. And some of those, you can see it in Teo's eyes, like, wow, holy shit. So, of course, he wants nothing to do with the kid and again, it's not like, fucking loaded gloves and drugged water. This motherfucker, everybody knew going in there was a shoulder issue. The following 2 days later, he's under the knife You don't go in on, and say, oh, my shoulders get a tinge, show up in the room and they schedule a room upstairs. That shit was in advance. So he was scheduled for that surgery one way or another, win, lose, or draw. So he wasn't, although I don't like that it was brought up, the time it was brought up, but to act like that did not have an effect on his performance, it clearly did, because he didn't want to throw his right hand for the first 6 rounds of fear of hurting it. He wanted to save it for the later rounds.
I just wish he had pulled out of that fight. I understand he didn't, and that's him. Because he just believes he can beat anyone, and fair enough. He earned the right to believe that, but I do wish he pulled out of that fight, because he was not in shape to go in that fight. Like, he had good conditioning, but dude, you can't fight a world champion with a fucked up shoulder, man.
Mm-hmm. And there's no doubt that it was. These people say, "Oh, that's an excuse that wasn't for he didn't know." Then why was there he was under the knife within 48 hours? Because it was it was already programmed. Yeah.
Why was his father asking him in the corner, "Is your shoulder all right?"
Exactly. From the first round on, how's your shoulder?
What, did they fake that or something? Like, come on, guys. I understand it's an excuse, right? But it doesn't mean it's not true. Like, the thing is, I see people saying Wilder made excuses about his broken hand. I mean, dude, if he broke his hand in the fight, he broke his hand. Like, it's his fault for wearing those gloves, but, like, I understand he probably did break his hand. Like, it's the same thing with Loma's shoulder, okay? You have an injury like that, it is what it is if you lose, but at least let's not say that he was 100%.
And what's the difference between an excuse and a reason? I mean, yeah, it could be used as an excuse, but it really was the reason he didn't throw his right like that. Like you said, his father was asking about it right away. So that was a part of it. So you take that as part of it too. Like, so Teo's like, okay, now he's got 2 good wings. I saw what he could do to me with his skill level.
And I saw what
when he wanted to turn it on. Then he goes in and he sees him demolish Nakatani. So he's like, yeah, no, I'm not. I want nothing to do with this kid. Instead, and then at the same token, doesn't want to go to 140 to fight Josh. So he makes that. I mean, literally embarrassed himself with that fucking thing. Like Bob's like tugging at him, like you would with your girlfriend who's hot, but she's saying stupid shit in public. So he kind of okay, come on, you know what I mean? Like you try to pull her away because you don't want to insult her, but at the same token, you don't want her to talk anymore. That's what he was doing with that shit. It was just amazing. Fucking WBC, Suleiman was laughing. It was such a ridiculous. Okay, you want to fight for my belts that you'll never be able to defend? It was just so stupid. Just basically, I want to fight you, but not at your weight because I can't fucking beat you there. That's what he was saying.
Teo's in a bad spot. You think he's got a lightweight. He's got Haye and Loma. Very losable fights, right? And then he moves up to 140 if he's going to fight Josh Taylor. I've got Josh Taylor in that one.
I got Josh Taylor stopping Teo.
I've got Josh Taylor winning it.
Yeah, I would take Josh Taylor with that. He's too big.
I'll give it to Teo. He is an exceptionally skilled fighter, but I still think that people have gone overboard when they really do their research and look into that Loma win. I mean, let's say the injury wasn't true. Loma was 14 months out of the ring. You think his timing is going to be 100%? You think his reflexes are going to be 100%? Like 14 months out of the ring, and then you throw that shoulder injury on top? Dude, come on. That's not like an active Lomachenko who's healthy, like the one who fought Luke Campbell.
No. You know what? I wasn't that impressed with Loma versus Luke Campbell. That was like one of the more least impressive Loma performances.
I think he did what he did. Like, he just beat him, man. He just
beat him, yeah, but
I think he was starting to lose motivation too. I think, honestly, in a way, this Teal loss is probably one of the best things if he wants to keep a fire going, because people around him said that fired him up. Like that's all he does is dream about beating Teofimo. He wants to fight him so bad. And again, let's not forget. I mean, this is fact. I know people don't want to hear that when the haters want to hear it. But we're talking about a dude who shouldn't even be, for all intents and purposes. He's only a lightweight is because he was forced to leave the weight he should have never went higher, which is super featherweight, because nobody there would fight him. So if here's a guy so talented, he's fighting, he has to fight the big guys. And I love the haters. Like, if he would have beat Teo, then it would have just been, wasn't he go to 140? Wasn't he go up to welterweight? Like, it's just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Why does he just go somewhere so somebody knocks him out?
I thought the Campbell fight was good, man. I thought that was a good fight, man.
I look at it like I look at the Canelo.
Campbell gave him some work. I mean, he ended up getting dominated, but he still he made Loma have to show a little bit more than he has.
I'm not saying it's bad. Though.
I look at it like I look at the Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs fight. All right, you look at both Loma and Canelo. I feel like by the time it hit the fourth round, they were like, okay, I just know I'm better than this guy. Whatever. Like, I just really can't be bothered tonight. Like to me, they just went through the motions.
Well, you got to remember too. Like Rick and I said in the past, it was a couple episodes ago when we were talking about Loma, and he made a good point. When remember, dude, you said, but you guys got to remember, Loma always fights the best version of whoever they're fighting. You know, everybody gets up for the Loma fight. Remember, you said that you were like, he's always facing, like, you don't have to worry about the other dude he's facing being in shape, because you know it's going to be the hottest camp they've ever had, the most focused they're ever going to be. You're always going to get the best version of whoever he's facing. And when you made that point, I was like, I failed to say that before. That's an excellent point. So there's all these other little things he deals that nobody else deals with.
The only mistake that Loma made, the only mistake that he made, I mean, we all make mistakes. He should have got a rematch clause. He should have. But hey,
that was Bob Arum's fault.
Yeah, that's business.
Arum's fault.
That's the politics.
Bob fucked that up because he was going to push for it not to be there because it was what it was. It was a sticking clause, and Bob just wanted to make the fight. And Lopez's people didn't want it in there. So fucking he acquiesced to that. Loma should have put his foot down because again,
I wonder how much of that was Bob Arum knew that Loma had the shoulder injury, and he basically knew that he was going to end up having surgery and maybe not knowing exactly when Lomachenko was going to come back. I wonder how much that played into it.
That I can't speak on, but I know for a fact that it was Teo's people who didn't want the clause. I know he always says, well, Loma should have put it in there, right? His father said it too, but yeah, no, it was Bob, because I guess it was sticking, like, it was all set, the money, everything was agreed on. The one thing that was sticking was the rematch, and that was the one that Senior was kind of putting poo-pooing on. So Bob got into Loma's ear, and dude, I never do those clauses. Let's go. Come on, sign the papers, kid. And he fucking signed it, and boom.
But I wonder, again, like I said, no, I think you're 100% right. I wonder the reason why, I guess what I meant to say was maybe Bob caved into that because of knowing that Lomachenko's shoulder was going to be a little bit bad. And I think he thought that maybe Loma would beat him anyway.
Right? Look, it could be maybe he thought his shoulder was bad and he was going to retire, or he was going to, he wasn't going to be the good champion anymore, and he figured to keep the belt in-house.
Yep.
I ain't going to make those excuses for Loma. The way I look at it, is the dude beat Linares with that fucked up shoulder, and the guy was getting a lot of hype, right? He was number one pound for pound. I think his ego got to him a bit where he thought, you know what, fuck it. Like, I can beat this dude with one arm. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. And he found out the hard way that, listen, dude, sometimes you just can't beat these guys while injured. I mean, it sucks, but I hope he learned his lesson, man, because I'll say this, the difference between Usyk and Loma is Usyk is a little more humble, man. He doesn't take fights while injured. Loma has taken fights while injured. He took the Lopez
all
fight.
boxers, bro. L-Dog, they're all injured.
No, but I mean like a serious injury. I mean,
I understand what you're saying.
Like Usyk, hold on real quick. When Usyk tore his bicep and he had that fucked up elbow, he postponed the fight. That's what Loma should have done. He should have postponed it until he was healthy. But even so, I still think the fight was a draw.
But do you know what I say with Usyk and Loma? I think Usyk is a bit more of I think he's a bit more of a tough street dude, in his background. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a bicep injury is probably impossible to box. It's got to be one of the most painful feelings. I've never had a torn bicep, but I've had a hurt bicep. You can't throw a punch.
Yeah, I'd imagine the shoulder is the same, though.
you bruise from your elbow to your chest. It's disgusting. I've seen people tear them in the gym. It's within hours. They're purple. The whole upper body. It's fucking nasty. And yeah, I know you can't move at all. Your arms immobilized. But listen, Loma in that fight, dude, within that his mindset in that fight against Teo. Remember, he's feeling the punches. He knows where they're hitting. And L-Dog, like you said, if you go back and watch it in slow mo, you see that he's catching a lot of those punches at the end of his gloves and arms. So in his mind, he had probably 2 of the first 6. He probably figured he only gave away 4, and all he had to do was turn it on. So that's why when he says, I believe I won the fight, he's not just saying it because that's what fighters say. He does believe he won the fight. But I think that's what he thought he was going to be able to do, and that would carry it. But obviously, like you said, he learned the lesson, if not about anything, about judging. They will count those shots to the gloves.
That's exactly it. Like, if you know boxing, you can see that Lopez was not really landing many shots to the head. He was landing body shots early, but even so, he was like, to me, landing maybe 5-6 punches around.
Yeah,
Clean punches.
the first half of the fight was. It didn't land a lot. The first half, Loma gave it away a lot, right? And then the second half was.
I disagree.
The second half.
Like, to me, the second round is just a clear Lomachenko round. I don't know how anyone could score that for Teofimo Lopez. Here's the thing: Lopez landed 5 body shots in that round. Loma landed 6 headshots that round. But here's the thing: Lopez threw about 80 to 100 punches that round. Lomachenko maybe threw about 10 punches. So defense is a criteria, right? You'd have to give that defense to Lomachenko. So that's clean, effective punches, and that's defense right there. But also, how can you give Teo effective aggression when he was missing so much? Lomachenko's defense rendered his aggression ineffective. Therefore, he's the ring general. So that's 3 out of 4 criterias.
And the left hook also had something to do with it too. If you notice that fight, go look at that fight. Watch the distance that Teo's thrown a lot of his big shots from, and then go back and look at any of his previous fights. Even though there's not a lot, he was only fucking 13 fights, but he fought in. He would let them go when he was closer. What happened? I think it was the end of or the beginning of the second round. Loma caught him the first power shot to the head, and it was a good one. And I think fucking it was like, oh shit, this kid.
This guy in the chat keeps saying that Jimmy. This guy in the chat keeps saying that Lomachenko's shoulder has nothing to do with his neutralized footwork. He's also saying that it's Lomachenko's fault for not including a rematch clause.
We just discussed that,
making up false
well, that's
narratives.
true that the shoulder didn't have anything to do with the footwork, right? Like, I'll give it to Teo. He learned how to neutralize the footwork, but once it hit the 6th round, that didn't really do anything, dude. Loma knew how to avoid that counter uppercut. Because at the start, what Teo was doing is he'd pivot inwards and throw an uppercut. And that was a very smart thing to do. But if you watch it, Loma wouldn't attack off the angle after the 6th round. What he would do a lot was he would take that angle, but he'd slip his head to the outside to slip that uppercut, and then he would attack kind of off of that.
Right, do you see though in the chat getting triggered, right? That's the point I'm trying to make about Americans, is they don't have like a respect for like skill. It's like, Loma is from the Ukraine. I'm from I'm from England, and my family's from Ireland. But I can see Loma when he's boxing. The man's skilled as hell. And for instance, in football, if you was to ask most people in Europe, who's the best football player? By far the biggest sport in Europe. Most people would say Messi, an Argentinian guy. That's the difference, man. I'm telling you.
And if you ask, if you did a poll amongst pro fighters in the last few years, who's the best, most talented fighter, blah, 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 they'd all tell you Loma. I mean, there's a reason, you know what I mean? When the guys who actually do it for a living and, the pundits and the people covering it, and saying like, holy shit, like Jim Lampley saying, he just does things we've never seen before. And if you don't respect what he's done, then I don't know what to tell you. And I bet you that same dude in the chat, if he's running his mouth about Teo, I bet you'd be the first one to say, no, I don't want a rematch. That's on Loma, tough shit.
That
If they're
guy
so
has said
confident,
that
why don't they?
before. He said it to me. He said it to me
Yeah,
that
Who
he
that?
doesn't want a rematch. And
of
I
course
mean,
he doesn't.
here's the thing. This
HLD.
guy, he says Lomachenko was scared of Teofimo's power. Look at his ribs by round 2. So explain why Loma threw way more punches in the second half than the first half.
Exactly. Why did he jump in
Like,
when he was
don't
ready
you
to
think
go?
if he was so scared, it's usually you throw a lot of punches early, but then you start to get scared of the power. You stop throwing punches. You don't start throwing them.
And if he's so scared, why is it Lomachenko pleading to fight again and Lopez running the other way?
What are you so scared for?
If he's so scared,
When I was
it's kind of funny. We're
Kevin,
afraid of you, so let's go fight.
Kevin. A couple months
I mean,
ago,
it's silly.
it wasn't a couple months ago when what's the name? When Teofimo Senior came on H Money panel, I asked him, I was like, yo, what's up with the rematch, bro? I thought he was gonna convince your son. He just said fuck Loma. He said that if he beat Teofimo, they win the rematch. That's what he said. That's all he said.
Okay, but guess what? Here's what I'll say to that. If Anthony Joshua beat Andy Ruiz, he wouldn't have got a rematch. So I guess Andy Ruiz should have never taken that fight. You see that stupid logic? Like,
and Bob too. Bob trying to get the fight across, and I'm sure Bob said, "Listen, you guys, if it's a close fight, because throughout boxing history, for guys who respect their legacy, for guys who have confidence in what they do, okay, they would have made that fight. They would have said, "Listen, that was a close fight. I won. I got this motherfucker's belts, but he fought hard enough that this was close enough that I owe him a fucking fight." You know what I mean? And Bob probably thought Teo thought like that, but instead Teo tried to hold Bob hostage, and he paid it and got it up the ass with that. He ended up walking. His accomplishments were tarnished because he fucking won't fight him again, and the fact that he fucking tried to expect pay-per-view money when 3 fights ago he was a prospect, he walked away looking like a donkey. So nothing's gone right for Teo since not fighting him.
Yeah, it's gone wrong.
I'll take it easy.
Peace out, Kevin.
Take it easy, Kevin.
All right,
Hey,
bro.
by the way, good call to Ali Sickback the other day.
Oh, God.
You heard that, huh?
I gotta hear it, Kevin. What's the episode, Kevin? Tell me.
Perfect.
Before you
Jimmy, I'll send you the video because you won't be able to find
send
it.
me the link.
Send me the video. Send me the video.
Somebody took the clip. Somebody
Mucho,
took
send
the
me the
clip.
video too.
Let's do it. I called him out.
All right.
Anyone hear me?
Yeah, who is this?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, how's it going? This is my first time being on BDA panel. Obviously, what were we talking about so far?
Hey, low key, it sounds like you're at the bottom of the ocean, bro.
It's like echo.
Speak closer. No, you got an echo, brother. Speak closer to the mic. If you got on speaker, put it on. Take it off speaker because you're echoing.
Oh, I'm sorry. One moment, please.
All right. So we ended up talking about Lomachenko. You guys still want to talk about this?
Teofimo.
Yeah,
Teofimo.
Teofimo.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about
this
that.
show's supposed to be about the LDBC, but I guess you guys are tired of that shit. But people in the
Well,
chat.
no, I'm not tired of it. I'll still go in on the bullshit they're saying. I just, it was one of those organic conversations. Just went where it went.
See,
Yeah.
I mean, the LDBC, we all know that their favorite preoccupation, aside from Deontay Wilder and licking his nuts, is hating on Loma.
Is it all better?
Why is that? Why is that?
Do you remember there was a period where you had Eastern Europeans, Golovkin, well, kind of Eastern European, right? Kovalev, Usyk, Loma. That's who they were after, right? And now it's like more on the Latinos, right? You got like Canelo, Teo, Estrada. That's who they're going after, man. That's how they work.
Look at the videos they didn't take down, bro. I've done that. I've gone back 5-6 years. Hype job. Usyk's the biggest hype job. Fucking just crazy shit. Better be off. And it was listen. This is when they first came around, and it was so obvious what it was about, and it was just so silly. It's like, why, man? I'm surprised. I just honestly, my own naivety. I honestly didn't know there was so many black people held so much contempt for white people. I just, not just in boxing, but I've noticed that in a lot lately, and it's kind of sad because I made my whole life not about anything like that. But anyways.
I gotta ask you guys while we're talking about this, because this came out today and I was shocked, man. What do you think about ESPN's new pound for pound list?
I haven't seen it. Somebody's gonna
see it.
Who's number one?
See it.
All right, number one.
They had Fury above Usyk.
Listen to this, guys. Number one, Canelo. Number two,
hell
Crawford.
nah.
Number 3, Inoue. Number
Who's
4,
number 2?
Fury. Crawford was
Fury.
number 2.
Crawford.
Okay.
Number 4, Fury. Number 5, Usyk. Number 6, Spence. Number 7, Lopez. Number 8, Josh Taylor. Number 9, Loma. Number 10, Estrada. How the fuck is Usyk number 5?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all
Hey,
whatsoever.
that list ain't that horrible.
It's
pretty good.
I was Josh
I've
Taylor
heard
number
worse.
8.
I don't think it was that bad.
I was Josh
Taylor,
Taylor number 8.
Taylor and
Bro,
Usyk
Josh
are
Taylor
way
number
too low.
8?
How is he number 8? Spence is inactive. Get him out of there. Estrada
I
didn't
have
beat
him like
Chocolatito.
third.
I got Chocolatito on my pound for pound list.
Wait,
bro.
it's Fury.
Yeah,
Did you say
Chocolatito's
Fury?
on
I
my
don't
pound
give
for
a fuck, bro.
pound.
That
Do you
nigga
know what
Estrada
about
did
just
not beat Chocolatito, bro.
Fury cannot.
Do you know what
Canelo
about just
shouldn't be in the pound for pound conversation because he cheated and
You're still
Canelo
echoing, bro. You
shouldn't.
got to talk into the mic.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Canelo,
whatever, man.
hold
I
on?
Canelo
keep
shouldn't be on the
Canelo.
pound for pound conversation.
Hold on. Do you know what about Josh Taylor on the pound for pound list? It's like I respect what he did at 140, become undisputed. You know, great fights. But when you're talking pound for pound, I'm thinking about guys who like move up or they're fighting guys like, above their weight. Josh Taylor is a big 140 pounder.
But he fought other big 140 pounders.
Yeah, but dude, the level of competition he's faced, though, bro, is impressive. I agree.
I agree.
8, but
no, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating. I like Josh.
No, I
Taylor.
know,
Don't get
I
me
know.
wrong, but, like, it's just when you're talking pound for pound, it's like I'm thinking about guys who move up and they're like like Loma, Usyk, or these guys who are like fighting guys above their weights and moving up and they're fucking pounding on guys above them. Josh Taylor is going to be up in welterweight.
Hey, so when the discussion was Triple G being a top 10 pound for pound fighter, they would say he never moved up in weight. But meanwhile,
they would always
Errol
say that.
Spence. They'll put Errol Spence
Yeah.
in the top 5, out with only fighting in one weight division and really not looking that impressive too.
Yeah, I know.
They already
man.
have
That's
Teofimo.
not how they work. We
That's
know how
bullshit.
they work, man. So we know how they work.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that's a token PBC fucking slab, so the ESPN wouldn't, insult because there's politics involved in those lists. So
Well, I
they
don't
wanna piss
understand
off,
how
you know what I mean?
Tyson
with those
Fury
ESPN.
managed.
Plus, they got Mike Hoppinger.
Hey,
So
Jimmy.
fuck them.
Jimmy, how did
Yes,
Tyson
Pucho.
Fury
Yeah, I've
manage
never been a fan
to
of
move
Mike
up in the rankings? How did Tyson Fury
I'm
manage
sorry,
to move? How did Tyson Fury manage to make it up there just because he beat Wilder a third time? Doesn't make fucking
He
sense.
beat a
Beating
bum,
the same
bro.
guy.
He
So-
beat a bum.
Yeah, I
Deontay
don't
Wilder's a
understand.
bum.
You
They
can't
didn't
call him a
wanna put
bum,
him-
dude. He
I
had
don't know,
10
bum,
title defenses, and even though it's the worst resume, you just can't call him a bum, dude. Just because it demeans the fucking. And then because every time you say that, you make it that level of suck. You're just denouncing Fury's accomplishments too. And listen, what I'm most impressed by Fury is his ability to take a big shot, being that out of shape. I mean, that motherfucker, and he knows it. Props to him because he admitted it after the fucking thing. When he got away from the fucking platform, when they were interviewing him on stage, when he was in there, people just had cell phones in their hands, and he apologized, like, yeah. And then it comes to find out today that he only did 2 weeks of sparring instead of 5 weeks. That's fucking huge. That's more than 50% of his sparring. So you could tell he was open. I mean, just look at the difference in the fucking second fight. Kept blowing snot out of his nose. He was so focused, constant head moving, dot in and out when he wasn't pounding on him. He couldn't do that this fight because he knew he didn't have the condition to do it. He knew if he acted like that by the third round, he would have been on the corner fucking ice on his head. And even that second knockdown, if he was in better shape, wouldn't have went down. And the reason why he was able to get up on the first fight was his conditioning. And when he got up off, looked like Jason from fucking, Friday the 13th, the shit, or Michael, or whatever his name is. So, yeah, no. Fucking, it was, I just don't think that was as great a fight. I don't know, a lot of you guys don't think it was either. I think it was the emotions involved on the outcome of the winner. Everybody was on the edge of the seat because everybody knew what the other side was going to say. So that's where the emotion comes from. But as far as the fight, you're not going to sit back and watch that in 10 years and go, what a great fight, if there's no emotions involved.
Well, if you're a boxing purist, it's not one of the best. But if you're like for a casual, the excitement for them, that's a good fight to get casual fans in. That was
Exactly.
awesome.
A lot
To
of
me,
roller
Usyk
coaster
Joshua-
emotions, yeah.
Yeah.
Usyk Joshua had a way higher skill level than
Of
Wilder.
course. That was a chess
sure.
match.
Come on, of course. By the way, I want to thank Chris K for hold on, just quickly. Chris K, thank you for your contribution. He says, looking forward to breakdown of Mikey's Saturday night fight. Yeah, we'll take.
It'll be great.
I don't know. I guess Mikey wins. There.
If I'm not sleeping, I'll watch the fight.
It's a tune-up.
If I'm not
Didn't he
sleeping,
pull out of the fight though? He pulled out of the fight.
Tune-ups does he get?
It's happening. It's literally a tune-up.
He's done, bro. He's milking DAZN for their money, bro. DAZN is fucking stupid. Look how much money these guys have paid Mikey. They're paying him like $7 million a fight.
Well, they paid him that for the last fight. They paid him that for the last fight, and by their own. And he was actually, believe it or not, Eddie Hearn. He was the one that broke the camel that broke the back. Like DAZN said, no more. So, but the problem is now, Mikey, who's always never had short of opinion of himself, thinks he's worth that. So they came that close to having the Prograis fight. Prograis agreed to, I think it was $2 million. Mikey would not move off. Yeah, Mikey would not move off of $5. Would not move off of $5 million, and then had the balls to turn around and go on social media and say that DAZN didn't have it in their budget for the fight. Like, you fucking weasel, dude.
He's just not committed
the dude doesn't even like the sport. He's just
no one cares
he doesn't
about him
care.
anymore,
He doesn't
bro.
care about the sport,
No
bro.
one cares about Mikey anymore. Like, Mikey was cool when he fought Broner, Easter, Lipinets. When he fought those guys, he was cool. Then what does he do? He ducks Lomachenko and sells the fuck out against Errol Spence. Sold himself out.
I'll tell you what, he sold himself out to the devil.
I'll tell you what, if Tio moves up to 140, I can see Mikey sorting him out, man.
Yeah,
No,
but
it wouldn't happen.
I got Tio beating him, bro.
I think Mikey.
He's
I think Mikey will beat him, man. If he's focused, man, I can see Mikey beating him.
Yeah, I agree.
Beating who? I can't hear. Who is he saying? Beating who?
I think
Mikey
would
versus
beat
Tio.
Yeah, Mikey would beat Tio.
Yeah, Tio beats
He's
him.
focused. No, I think Mikey beats Tio.
Same here.
Mikey's taken a lot of punishment. He's been inactive, man.
Yeah,
I can't see him beating
He's
him.
not going to do business with Top Rank anyway. So
Bro,
I just can't see him beating someone as athletic as Tio. I think Teofimo Lopez is the most athletic boxer in the world right now. The shit that guy, like, his athleticism.
yeah, but you're
is
talking
crazy.
about you look at the size difference. Mickey's would be big against him, and I'll tell you, when it comes to pure 1-2s, when it comes to pure fucking left right, and Mickey's a very, very talented kid. I'm telling you right now, very talented, very technically sound. The problem with him is he jumped around weight classes, picking off the easiest perceived opponent for titles, just to become, put it this way, he's a 4-weight division champion. Back in my day, that was a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, Adrien Broner is a 4 division. Is he fucking Hall of Fame? No, because what they did, if you looked at his record, it was always the weakest champion. Pop, he grabbed it, jumped division. He's a mercenary, dude. And that's what I don't respect.
Yeah,
anyone hear me?
It's all about the money, yeah.
Can anyone hear me? Is it better? Is it better?
Yes, it's better now, brother.
Okay, perfect. I don't want to have any issues. I just want to talk about boxing, what's happening so far. So yeah, that's why I came into the panel.
We hear you, brother.
I think Tio would beat Mikey. I don't know. Mikey's just, bro, he's not committed to boxing. He don't care about boxing like that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
look at him. Look at him in the off season, bro. He's blowing up and weight and all that shit, man. He don't give a fuck about the sport, man.
I was just gonna say that Mikey Garcia got into boxing just because he was forced to by his brothers.
Exactly.
I mean,
bro.
he's just doing it for the money, pretty much. He doesn't give a shit about boxing.
That's my point.
At least he admits it.
You know what?
The fight I want to see at 140 is look. Once Josh Taylor gets his tune-up over with, he's got 2 fights that I want to see him at there. Either Teofimo Lopez moves up to 140, and I mean 140, okay? Not 139, 138, 140. And we get Lopez versus Taylor, or I wouldn't mind seeing a Regis rematch.
Yeah, trust me. Regis. Do you know what I would like to see Josh Taylor if he's going to stay at 140? Rematch Prograis in the States. That's what I would like to see.
I was gonna say, wasn't that card canceled though? Mikey's not fighting.
Yeah,
yes, it was canceled. Listen to that new guy. What's your name, bro? The first time caller.
My name is Brandon. I think
Brandon. Hold on,
yes,
buddy. Brandon. I want Brandon. Okay, listen. I'm not gonna listen. I'm gonna let you go. I know you've been trying to talk, dude, and you're being very polite, and you're kind of getting stepped on. Because I'm sorry, but so listen. Have the floor, dude. Get your piece out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, I've been into different panels. I've been to Thunderdomes, Mad Chats. Like, I know almost everybody in a panel.
Yeah.
150, L Dog, Recognize. I've been in his panel, so I'm very familiar to the
Well,
whole
okay.
panel.
I apologize. Then I apologize if I
Yeah,
made
he's
you
been
sound like
around.
a
Yeah, we
newbie,
know.
dude. But still, you have. I hear you keep trying to talk, and I've cut you off. We all have. So I
Yeah,
just figured do
no
your
worries,
shit.
no worries, no worries. I don't have anything against you, so yeah.
Hey, you're
Well,
being
thank
too
you, man.
nice, bro. You gotta talk over people. You gotta yell over these motherfuckers,
Yeah, you
man.
know how
You
it
gotta
works,
insult
man.
them.
It's fucking war here.
It's just, you know,
Still,
it's not in me being rude.
Nah, good for you, brother.
he's still fighting the Spanish dude, though.
Bro, look at the hold on. Look at the
Saturday.
Lopez fan in the chat. He's saying stop taking the catch weight out of context. Bro, Josh Taylor has talked about moving to 147. Like, he's not a small 140 pounder. He's a
Now,
fucking
L
big
Dog, you're
140
taking it
pounder.
out of context,
Can
man.
that caller
Out of
call in and
context.
explain in what context a catch weight against what reason under God's green earth would
was a
Josh
joke.
Taylor emaciate a
It
kid
was
who's
a
constantly
joke.
saying
It
struggling
was
to
a
make
joke.
140 emaciate himself to fucking help out Lopez? Just call in and give us the context.
Let's get some mathy Americans on the panel because you guys are pretty polite and nice, actually.
137 catch weight. How the fuck is Josh Taylor making that?
Nah, he
It
can't,
makes
man.
137 and a half. Dude, he just
it
said
makes no
130.
sense.
Taylor
He
can
just
barely
said
make 140, man.
he
Taylor
even
can
said
barely make
130.
140.
That's
He
my
even
point.
said 137 and a half.
Yeah.
Theo,
No, I'll
Theo
say.
knows that
Hold on.
Taylor's.
Hold on. So Lopez wants to fight Josh Taylor at 137, but when it comes to Loma, he got to move all the way up to 140. Why is
Right.
that?
He's
It doesn't make any sense.
This is why I've got to
Oh.
say, listen, man, I've seen fighters do this in past. And when I bring up, oh no, wait a second, that guy actually went and fought a dude at the full weight limit. Why is he asking this dude to cut down in weight? It's because they think that they have an advantage. That's all it is, man.
Make him. It's a dehydration clause. That's what it
Yeah.
is, really.
Yep.
Theo knows that Taylor wants to move to 147. That's why he's calling him out.
It's a
He
clout
doesn't
chase.
think he's
I'm
gonna
telling you,
take the
he'll
fight,
never
yeah.
fight Josh Taylor. What's
Yeah.
gonna happen is Tio is gonna fight Cambosis. He's gonna move up to 140, and he's gonna collect the vacant belts off of like Pedraza and shit.
Yeah, he's just gonna claim
Yeah,
those.
he's gonna fight what the junior titles? What the junior
No, not
titles?
the junior titles. Taylor's gonna vacate.
Vacant
He's gonna
belts,
vacate.
vacant.
Yeah, if Taylor
After
moves
Taylor
up.
moves up.
Oh, yeah, but that's all contingent on Taylor moving up.
Yeah, he
Well,
will.
he
will,
bro.
man.
He's gonna
Bro,
move
he's
up.
not staying there, bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
bro.
I know, but right now he's talking about his next fight being a 140.
He's got
Well, he's got his mandatory.
I'll tell you what,
That's what I'm saying. Until he actually moves up, I always kind of fight on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. And
He's gonna have
fighting
a
in his
title
country
defense.
too.
He's gonna have a
Prograis
title defense in December. He's Jack Catterall. He's gonna beat him. He's gonna move up. Teofimo's gonna come to 140. Another guy's gonna get elevated. He's gonna beat him for the vacant belt. And he's gonna have the belt. That's what's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, he
I bet
already
money-
made his
I bet
plan.
money on that.
that
shit.
makes sense.
I bet money
150
on
is
that.
100% right. He already
I'll tell
made
you-
he already made up his mind about his future. His future does not include Lomachenko or Josh Taylor.
Yeah, he's gonna fight
I'll
like
put it to you
Zepeda
this
or
way.
Barboza.
I'll put it to you guys this way. Hold up, real quick. It's imagine when Usyk beat Bellew, someone was calling him out at cruiserweight. They're like, "Hey, you know, I want to fight him
Break
at
it up.
cruiserweight," and it's like, dude, he's already said he's moving up to heavyweight. Like,
Yeah, that's
you know,
it.
you guys know this.
I'll tell you one bad thing for Theo though is Prograis is still going to be around in 140, and that guy, I know Taylor beat him. That was a close as fuck fight.
Yeah,
man. I'll tell you
Prograis
what.
can beat Jo, I think.
I'll tell you what, Prograis is the real deal, man. That guy. If he sticks
Teofimo will
around at
probably
140,
avoid him too. Teofimo would avoid if he went up to 140.
if Taylor was to fight Prograis in the States, I'm gonna go with Prograis, man. Seriously, I think I rate Prograis, man.
I think Josh has gotten better since their fight. I mean, Josh
Yeah,
went on to become
that's true.
undisputed. Regis went on to become irrelevant.
That's true. That's true. That's true. They have moved differently since that fight, but
Like, who has Regis fought since the loss?
He knocked out.
He's still a threat, though, L Dog.
Yeah,
He's still a threat, but this is the thing. Like, if you fight top level opponents, like Taylor's been doing, you get better because you learn things. You know, now Taylor, he's been 12 rounds with Ramirez. He knows how to pace himself better, how to dig deep, etc. Whereas Regis, he hasn't had to pull that out yet. His tools are getting a little rusty.
Yeah, but let's go this way. Let's go this way. Hold on. Let's go this way. Let's say if the fight was in the States, Josh Taylor had to go over to the States to fight Prograis. Where's he from? In the South somewhere, yeah?
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Say he gets to go there.
Louisiana.
Right, and he loses that fight. Prograis the man. You know, and I could totally see
Exactly.
Yeah,
He does not matter, bro.
No, hold on.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
No,
Hold on.
Hold on. I think Prograis is better than Ramirez. So.
Yes,
I agree, but to me, there's not much in it.
The state shit is irrelevant, man. He's willing to go
Again, that's because you're American. That's because you're American. You don't understand how it works home and away. You know?
Oh, I don't understand.
You don't get it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Hold up.
You don't get it.
Wait.
I don't get it. He beat the dude.
Wait, one at a time.
I don't get it either.
Yo, come on, man.
Sports, man. Home and away.
Idiot,
that's how we work in Europe. Yeah, shut the fuck up, man.
Man, you shut the fuck up,
Excuse me?
Come on, man.
Hey, calm down.
Calm down.
Hey, let's not get emotional. Let's not get emotional. We don't want emotional. Why are you getting emotional? Don't get emotional.
Is that what you're saying?
But what he's saying is, okay, listen, this is what you're saying is you want the fight in America, right?
Yeah.
And what he's saying is Josh Taylor already proved that he can win in America. He did fight Ramirez.
That's my point. It's irrelevant. That's what I'm saying. He keeps trying to jab at the U.S. That's what he's doing. This dude's trying to get a reaction. He's a clown. Fucking clown. That's what you are, bro.
You're just butthurt because you
I'm not butthurt, bro. I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know that he doesn't need to be in the States to win a fight. He doesn't need to be in the States to win a fight.
First of all, why are the Brits so obsessed with Americans as if they envy us?
Well, you know. No, we don't envy you. Fuck off. We don't envy you. You envy
Dude, he's an idiot, bro.
All right, calm down. Ed, man. I gotta tell you, Ed.
Because I need to make a couple points.
Yo,
so fixated.
Hold on.
Get out of here. What happened, man? My phone fucking died. I come back. You guys are brawling. What happened?
Let's go at it, Jimmy.
I gotta admit, I'm pretty fair here, but Ed, you're sounding fucking emotional, man.
I'll tell you
Ed,
what.
you're sounding fucking emotional, man.
I won't go to fucking
You're
United
sounding
States
fucking emotional.
If you paid
You need
me
to
to
calm
live
down.
in your part of the world, I wouldn't live there. So
All
tell
right,
me I
Ed.
envy your part of the world, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, Ed.
Do you live in
Hold
London?
on, Ed.
No, I don't live in
You need to
London.
calm
I've
the
been in
fuck down, man.
countryside. I grew up in London. And let me tell you,
Ed.
living in the city.
Shut the fuck up, man. You need to calm down, man. You're
That's what
sounding
I'm
very
saying, bro.
emotional.
Yeah,
You're sounding very fucking emotional, man.
Like, dude keeps talking about the U.S.
Yeah, you're emotional, motherfucker. You better calm the fuck down,
Yeah,
man.
London isn't bad before. I have
That's
plenty
what I'm
of
saying.
British friends.
You keep
I've been to London
talking.
before too, so it's
keep
nothing,
talking.
bro.
Well, I don't understand. Listen, I don't understand the argument. The argument is okay. So you want Josh Taylor to fight Prograis in America, and 150 is like he already proved himself that he could. He's not saying not to have the fight. He's saying that he already proved that he could beat
himself,
American in America.
Yes,
Not only that, hold up. Can I make a
See,
point?
this is where you get confused. I think Prograis is better than Ramirez.
I think so too, but I don't think he's way better, right? Like I don't think.
No, I don't think he's way better. No.
I don't think he's better.
He is better. I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, and I agree with him on that. And I'm saying, like I said, it's just relevant that he's saying that because he's willing to go to backyards to beat people. That's the point.
No, I
He
agree.
keeps trying to jab at the U.S. That's why he's saying that shit.
Listen.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
He's been doing it the whole stream. You've been doing it the whole stream, brother. I know what you want, bro.
Hold up. And not only that, but I feel like you're only saying that because you know Prograis is more likely to get a decision if he's in the States.
Let's take the logic there, right? I'm from the UK. Josh Taylor is from the UK, right? And I'm saying he should go and take the toughest fight. If there's a rematch, with Prograis in the States. So what are you talking about, man? It's like, I think Prograis is better than Ramirez. If there's a rematch, I think Taylor should go and rematch Prograis in the States. If there's a rematch in that fight, just like with the AJ Usyk fight, I think AJ should go to the Ukraine to fight Usyk. I'm a fair guy,
but don't you think he's earned the right to finally have one at home, at like Wimbledon?
Next fight is at home.
I mean,
yeah, but something the size of the fight like Prograis, like in next big fight, the kid I think is earning the right because he has been a road warrior and he's been taking on good dudes. I just think he should get a home cooking.
No, his next fight is going to be against Catterall in the UK.
Taylor Fooper,
It's not mandatory though.
My question is this.
I'm gonna warn you one time and one time only. Stay on code.
Yo, my question is this. Let's say after his title defense at whoever it's gonna be, he goes to the States to fight the winner of Crawford Porter. If Crawford loses, which there is a chance, I don't think it's a high chance, but there is a chance. You think he's gonna try to do something with the PBC with Porter?
What were you talking about?
I doubt it. Are you asking would Crawford leave Top Rank to go to PBC?
PBC? No, I don't think he's doing that.
I don't think so. I think he's.
I don't know if that's what you asked.
Hold on, let me correct myself. My question is, let's say Crawford, hypothetically, let's say an upset happens and Porter wins. It's not likely. It's not a high chance. It's a close fight, but let's say it happens. What is it? How's Taylor going to get a title shot at 47?
I'll tell you this because he's not. Hold on, I can answer that real quick. He's the undisputed champion. The WBO will let him get that mandatory, just like Usyk got his mandatory, just like Crawford got their mandatory when they became undisputed. The WBO has a system where I think if you unify, you can move up to the next division and challenge the other champion immediately for the WBO. So it doesn't matter what network the belt is with. He's the mandatory.
Let's get some of these people in the chat who are calling me out. Come on here and call me out. Let's have a conversation, man, because I'm a very fair. I'm a very fair guy. So if you want to come at me, go for it.
I want to hold on just one second, people. 1 second. I want to thank Michael Poole for his contribution. Thank you, Michael.
Come on, don't be a bitch. If you can't have a conversation with someone on the fucking internet, then forget about it, man. You're.
I'm not gonna lie, but your last name does sound a little bit French. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, search up that name, and you might get, go for it.
That doesn't mean that you're French, right?
No,
I'm not calling him a French. I'm just saying his last name sounds.
His name.
What do you guys got against French people,
Hold on, the
man?
name sounds familiar.
I have nothing against French.
The name sounds familiar.
Well, if you're well read, you will know that name. Let's put it that way.
I didn't hear the name. What was it?
Ed Dantes. Ed Dantes.
El Dantes?
Ed Dantes.
I swear to God, I've read that name in a book. I just
Dante's Inferno. There's Dante's in literature. The name Dante comes up.
Wait, is it the Count of Monte Cristo?
It has an accent though.
Yeah, the Count of Monte Cristo. That's the one.
Well, who cares, man?
I saw it in the fucking movie. I didn't read the book. Anyways, what were we talking about?
I was just gonna say, you need to stay on code, man. Taylor's your guy. Every fighter has to go to Scotland and fight Taylor. That's the fact. He destroyed Regis Prograis. If Regis wants to rematch,
he didn't destroy him. Calm down.
Yeah, come on, dude.
He didn't destroy him.
Nah, dude.
He didn't.
I'll dog. No, he didn't.
Stay on code. Stay on code. He destroyed him.
I hear you. Oh, I understand.
That's what I'm talking about with you Americans. Look at the chat. All these fucking waste men getting excited. You guys are a bunch of pussies, man. Trust me. Don't worry about it.
What are they?
And that's on two continents. Because, I'm in the UK now. I'm actually in Southeast Asia most of the time. So don't worry about it, man. If I catch you guys, don't worry about it, man. Yeah, man. Man, I'm a Muay Thai fighter, man. Don't worry about
This
it.
guy wants to fight an American, man. I can tell.
Oh, yeah. Catch me in Thailand, man. No problem.
Hey, what was who was the king of England at the time of the independence war or whatever? He would have loved you, man.
George III.
Well,
I think it was George
actually
III.
probably not. Because my parents are Irish, so probably
So
not. Man.
are you IRA? IRA?
A Jacobin.
I'm not saying anything.
IRA?
Jacobin.
No comment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, IRA. Okay. We're gonna call you Bobby Sands from now on, brother.
I'm gonna call you the Irishman for now.
So you hate the Americans and the Brits?
I don't hate the Brits, man. That'd be a traitor.
Better not fucking hate. He better not hate Americans if he's IRA. Who do you think funded all their weapons? Guys like Whitey Bulger. They all came from the States.
I don't hate the
panel.
Brits,
Just click on. Stop
All right,
calling.
Ed. This
Who
hate
keeps
for
doing that, dude?
Ed.
I don't know.
This hate for America. Where does it come from?
It's because they envy us.
Let him talk.
We really don't actually. It's actually this year during the pandemic, which is a load of bollocks. In case people haven't realised, is I've been on the internet a bit more than usual, and there's a lot of Americans acting like fucking women.
Yeah, dude. Listen, brother. That pisses us off as much as it pisses you off. You got to listen to the show more, especially in the second
There are
Renaissance.
people who are mad too.
Yeah,
I hate. We hate
these
no,
politicians
Jimmy.
piss us off.
We're not getting into it. 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 Not here. Not now. Not with fucking YouTube.
Second Renaissance.
You know how it works.
That's why I said second Renaissance.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, guys. We'll do a second Renaissance soon.
He just doesn't need to hate on us, man. We're good people.
If not, we can just do it right after.
I like his actually I like his attitude, man. He's challenging us. That's what I like about him.
I've been cool to him. I don't think I've been disrespectful.
He's saying prove yourself. That's what he's saying. Ed Dante is saying prove yourself, mother.
And the way I see it is the LDBC, they do give Americans a bad rip. But here's the thing. You got to understand the LDBC are not that popular. They're just loud, man. They make a lot of noise.
Really not, yeah.
It's like, here's the thing. You could be in a room with 100 people, right? And let's say everyone's just talking. But then there's like 10 people who are fucking screaming.
Or three.
Yeah,
There's 3 people
they're screaming. Like everyone looks at them. That's the thing. They're really not that big, but they just fucking make a lot of noise.
L-Dog, right? It's not just the LDBC I'm talking about. All right. This year, during the pandemic, I've been online quite a bit. Just search on the internet. Go to like what they call like Red Pill or whatever. You'll see lots of American guys bitching about women. They're bitching about women. It's just like they're fucking.
Hey, brother, what's your name? Listen, Bernard, call in on the second Renaissance because listen, Bucho, let's show him the respect. He runs these shows. He doesn't want us talking about that because we'll go down that rabbit hole, dude, real quick, and I'll be right with you. Trust me. So we got to keep it boxing.
Ed, are you on the BDA Discord? Right? Obviously
yeah, someone there,
yeah.
Brother, seriously, calling on the second Renaissance, you will gain a new respect for us.
We're gonna invite him on the second Renaissance chat. We're gonna invite him over.
Wait, hold up. I have heard of second Renaissance.
What's the second Renaissance? I've never heard of that.
What's
check
it about?
Discord. Check the chat.
It's not boxing content.
Yeah.
Non-boxing content.
Oh, so like those conversations on this Discord when the stream is off?
Yes, absolutely.
Also, yeah.
Okay, I saw it.
But let's get back to fucking Teofimo wanting nothing to do with fucking Lomachenko.
Let's get back to
Teofimo. Fuck Teofimo. It's getting boring.
Davis. The one that I like is Teofimo. I've been hearing that.
Teofimo. I love that last name.
That is funny though. That's funny.
Hey, did you see, bro? Teofimo's becoming so cringe, man. He's doing this post like hashtag women's rights, like, and all this shit. Like,
I want to see that, bro.
Hold on.
Let me
explain why. Let me explain why. Because, and I talked to Thunderdome about this. He's taking some nappy pills or happy pills or like some pills that makes you happy or whatnot.
Dude, I agree with you.
It's antidepressants.
Antidepressants, yeah.
That's why I'm anti everything when it comes to like the medical field, because I'm like, I'm not sure if they give me something, my core values start to change. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
who
well,
I am.
brother, recognize it's going to change your chemical balance. So of course, dude, of course it could. It could change a lot of things. And they did the same thing to Mike Tyson. And what did I say? So you just said that on Thunderdome that he was taking happy pills, or well, then I said antidepressant. Said yes. Somebody gave me a load of shit a few months ago when I said I think he's a manic depressive. I said because when he's high, and when he's low, and you could just follow him on Twitter and you could see it in his personality. It's either woe is me or fucking brr, and that's the mannerisms of a manic depressive. And come to find out now, and somebody's dude, blah blah blah. Somebody gave him some shit, but you said now he's on antidepressants. Thank you. Told you that kid was a little kooky.
Thank you, but no thank you. Exactly.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said kooky. I apologize. That's not his fault.
Look at this, bro. It says hashtag woman empowerment, hashtag equality, hashtag one love, whatever. But then you look at the video he links and he's just like talking about, like he's just virtue signaling, man. Like it's just fucking cringe.
That's fucked up. That sucks that he's fucking getting into that route, but whatever. And maybe that's making him fucking. The fact that he won't fight Loma is disgusting. Just for the fact that it was such a close fight. And again, I've been following this shit since back in the day, and that was always a given, man. Usually they would get that done in the ring. They would say, "I owe him a rematch." You know what I mean? Yeah, I would definitely rematch him. That was always the question asked the fighter. You would go over and say, "Is it going to be a rematch?" That's the first thing you would ask in a fight that tight. And when I hear someone automatically describe that fight as a washout or fucking Teo rectum, and they're telling you they don't want the rematch because they're not being honest about the outcome of that fight.
They don't know what a clean, effective punch is.
I don't want to be a Loma-sexual, but the first time I had it a draw, the second time, I had Loma winning closely, but I had him winning.
Well, against Teo?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know where
you guys said so.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Ed, no, seriously, dude. If you go back and watch that fight and you do like slow mo and really break it down, but again, it's not the refs don't. I mean, the judges don't see it like that either. But if you look at, you see how many punches were caught on his gloves. That even I thought during the fight, wow, I think that caught him a little, or at least the announcer go, "Oh, Teo hits him with a right hook," and you saw it was nothing. So when you really break it down, you say, wow, this fight was a lot closer than I thought. It really was. Because at first I thought, yeah, clearly fucking Theo walked away maybe by 2 rounds, definitely by 1. And then I watched it slow and I was like, woo. No, exactly, this fight was closer than I thought.
Yeah, but the judges are gonna go for the aggressor on any swing round. So
yeah, but the thing
can't blame them for that either.
That's true, but I feel like judges today need to realize they shouldn't count aggression if it's not effective. Because if you see it in slow mo without
audience, that's a contradiction coming from you.
Wait, I think it was effective
but
because it was keeping Lomachenko outside. He wasn't letting him come in. When he did come in, he connected, but he was keeping him outside, which is why I think it was effective.
It's not effective if you're missing, bro, and you're not cutting the ring off.
And if that's where Loma wanted to fight too.
Yeah,
it wasn't like you know what I mean. He wasn't chasing him back. It's where Loma wanted to fight. But when Loma decided to go and fight and bring it to him, I mean, there's no denying Loma was the better fighter in the exchanges.
And if you rewatch the fight, Teo missed a lot, like a whole lot.
Without a doubt, Loma landed the more precise punches.
Second half of the fight,
But with Lomachenko, it almost looked like he didn't. I was like, you know what I thought? I thought it was like his plan was to get Teo tired, like let him swing all he wants, get him get tired, and in the second half it'll be my turn. But he gave away so many rounds, and I can't. Nobody here would have gave those rounds to Lomachenko if they were being honest. The first 6.
The second round, I would have. I gave the second round to. Yeah, I absolutely give the second round to Loma.
The second round is the clearest round of the fight, in my opinion, except for the 11th. Yeah, it's the most.
In the second half of the fight, that second round changes a lot of things. So for instance, if you give him that second round and they say you give him 5 out of the 6, that's a draw.
It's a draw.
Yeah, that's how you would count it.
That's how I originally scored it.
That's why I have a problem. Real quick, I have a problem when people say that there's no way you could have had Lomachenko winning the fight. I'm like, well, I don't understand how you score fights, right? You got to score fights if you think. Once you say, I think he won the second round, right? Once you say that, then you're saying, yeah, that the fight could have went either way.
Hey guys, I want to thank Chris K for his contribution. He says Teofimo Lopez can't decide on weight class. And then Carlos Ruiz, thank you for your contribution. He says Canelo pay-per-view buys prediction with the UFC on the same night. So apparently Canelo's going head-to-head with the UFC and he wants our prediction.
UFC is going to wipe them out.
Yeah?
How this is supposed to be a loaded card. This is supposed to be
disagree.
Well, it's supposed to be a loaded UFC card. And on top of that, it's a cheaper one too, isn't it? Isn't it cheaper than what the boxing
I think it is. Yeah, usually they are.
But the thing is, right? The casuals, I think if you're a casual boxing fan, I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to affect it. They've gone head to head in the past, and there's been times where boxing has crushed them because who's fighting. But again, it's Canelo's carrying this fucking
so all the
thing
Mexicans
all by himself. And I just want to correct myself real quick, dude. I said my original opinion. I fucked that up because I'm a little lit right now. After rewatching it in slow-mo, I scored it a draw. That's how I had it.
Let me say this real quick. I don't think the UFC will watch them because you got to keep in mind the Mexican audience is not that interested in UFC, man. Like nowhere near as much as they are into boxing.
Hey,
so
it's getting there, bro.
yeah,
Trust
it's
me,
getting there, but it's still like, dude.
I mean, not over
like,
Canelo though.
Yeah, let's keep it real, man. The Mexicans who are gonna be the ones buying this pay-per-view will pay to see Canelo, especially with the whole Caleb Plant thing at the press conference.
It's personal. There's a story.
We should do a prediction. Hey, brother, we should do a prediction on buys. You know what I mean? Along with the prediction for the fight. That's probably the most interesting prediction would be the buys.
Are they ever honest though?
I'll say
UFC isn't honest.
800,000 buys.
Yeah, but I heard that the UFC. I heard that the UFC numbers are inflated always.
Yeah.
It happened last time with the Kovalev
They don't
fight.
even release the ones that do bad. They
Yeah,
just
it happened
release the
last
ones
time
that do
with
good.
Kovalev, if I remember, but they had to wait. They played at different times.
Yeah.
Well, if it's the PBC, they do not release the numbers. What they do is whatever number they lie about, and they've been caught in many, right? We've all established that. They're going to have cops swing it out, but depends on how much Canelo's people have in it. You know what I mean? Like how much press, you know what I mean? How much are involved his team. He could turn around and say, fuck you. If it, like, say it does well, say it does 450 or better. And Canelo's no, like, I want that out there because that's better than anybody else done. Pacquiao's last one only did 250. That's the only chance it's going to happen. Other than that, if it was strictly PBC, no, you would not get one. And if you did, it wouldn't be honest.
Apparently, Fury versus Wilder generated 600,000 pay-per-view buys. Is that?
I thought it did better. I thought I heard they did better, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, the million somewhere else.
That would be a big disappointment because Bob thought it was he tweeted Top Rank tweeted out that there was scheduling, like pre-buys and everything. They had it doing better than the last one. And the thing is, right, this fight is important. There's one major difference. Last fight, the second fight, they were guaranteed $30 million each. So that was guaranteed money. So that's the reason why they spent $5 million on football ads, even the Super Bowl, and all other shit, because they needed to recoup that money. This fight was only $16 million guaranteed opposed to 60. It was like, I think 10 million guaranteed to fucking Fury and 6 million guaranteed to him, and everything else was upside that could get him up to 20 million, like Wilder. But it was this one was more in their pay to how they sold, which was smart after what happened last time.
Do you know what's going to be the biggest fight in the future in the next couple of years? Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis at 154.
I agree.
Be a fucking huge fight, man.
You know
I can't wait for that one.
You know what's going to be the super fight?
That's going to be a huge fight, man.
Hold up. In the future, like 5 years or more, it's going to be Xander Zayas versus Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, Xander Zayas is a talented kid. But, brother, listen, 4 years ago, what were we saying? You know it's going to be a great fight? Fucking Crawford against Spence. Yeah. What has happened since then? Other than when they've been forced to or had to for their own financial benefits, Al Haymon and fucking Floyd just said it because he's his spokesman. He's his right-hand man. And Floyd said, nah, we're going to keep everything in-house. He wasn't just speaking. Everybody keeps in the contents he was speaking just of Giovante. I know it's Gervonta, but that's goofy. But it wasn't. He's talking about we're keeping it in-house. That's the PDC. He's a... Yeah, so they, and it's shown it true.
It's stupid
Crawford
that
never got it.
they have all the fights in-house. It's stupid. It's stupid that they have...
But listen, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why, brother.
It's stupid, like, to have...
All right, hold on. The first fucking Fury one was a mandate, right? And it was because he had to, like, while it was being forced to, they were talking about stripping him. So that was the reason why they took it, and it was a fucking cherry pick. They thought it was a one and done. Believe me, he was going to keep that belt. The same thing he did in the first 5 years he had it. Hostage, not fighting anybody. But another thing too, dude, listen, the reason why that's dumb, not to Al Haymon, he gets 15% off each fighter. So when he keeps it in-house, he gets 30% of the pot. Do you understand what I'm saying? When they fight somebody outhouse, Al doesn't get that 15%, and that's all he cares about. He shouldn't
be carrying. He shouldn't be carrying the money. He should be focusing on being the best promoter.
But brother, you just said the key word. He's not a promoter. He's not the first one to say that. I'm not a promoter. I'm an advisor.
They call him an advisor.
I know, exactly. You know why they do that? Tax reasons.
As an advisor.
And he does. Yeah, but he really goes by that. That's an important distinction, bro. Because by that, he doesn't have to put up any of his own money. I'm not a promoter. I'm not fucking financing a fight. He doesn't do any of that shit. He just collects 30% off every in-house fight. That's all he gives a fuck about. And people just refuse, and everybody's like, oh, well, this fight, it's not going to happen as long as this motherfucker owns that fucking show over there.
Dude,
and how many years of this do we have to see?
They're ruining this fucking sport in single hand. Like every other company has no problem fighting with each other, even if they don't like each other. But the fucking PBC and their fucking fans really believe every fucking thing they say. I can't believe it. It just fucking make no sense.
I was just gonna say that, like, Don King, he worked with Top Rank. Even though Top Rank and Don King hated each other to their guts, they still worked each other for the betterment of boxing. How come he can't? How come Al Haymon doesn't want to do that?
Their own pocket. Because they were smart and it was a benefit of their own pockets. Same reason why the mob boxing was at its heyday. I mean, you had crazy every weekend there was a fucking killer fighting a killer because the mob ran it and all they cared about was betting. And the better the fight, the higher the people bet. And that's what drove boxing until it got cleaned up in the 80s. And now it's gone into this tribalistic cable fucking war. But even then, and the only reason why you would do that is financial. And that's always the driving force behind any decision in boxing. And because of that, like you said, Al Haymon, and I agree with you, he's ruining the sport. To me, he's a virus to the fucking sport.
And Floyd too, because Floyd is doing all these decisions too, teaching his fighters how to cherry pick and beat divas. Like, for example, shout out to Thunderdome, but he was interviewing Bill Haney, and they're like, what are the plans? And he basically said, oh, we're just going to keep on picking the winnable fights until we're like 40 to 50 and 0, and then we'll have a super fight. And you can look it up.
I need to watch that.
Somebody tell me. Somebody repeat. I think recognize you. I can't remember it. So somebody tell me what exactly Mr. Garcia said. Remember what Danny Garcia's father said? Let's slip a few years ago.
I remember. I know. Why fight a guy for a hard guy for $3 million? We can do 2 for more than that. Something like that.
And remember the dude he fought? Remember everybody gave him shit for Selka because it was that kid. It was actually so unfair that he dragged up that little kid. And then but the point is he shouldn't have. He shouldn't even have been there. But remember, his old man said, "Why would Danny fight this guy?" And he mentioned the top end guy for $3 million when he can get $3 million to fight a Rob Selka. Fucking the people upstairs must have said, "Dude, shut that dummy up." He just spoke like he was just saying exactly what he was told, like in meetings with Al Haymon. That was the game plan. Remember, Al Haymon's when he first came on, he had belts. He already had them made. They were the PBC belts. He was going to get away with the sanction bodies. He struck. You look at the whole way this went down. He waited till Oscar, right? Oscar was in detox, fighting for his mental sanity. At that point, he submarines his company. Well, he tried. If he would have got Canelo, Oscar would have been done. That would have taken out fucking Oscar. So there was Golden Boy gone. At the time, fucking Mikey Garcia was in bad battling with fucking Top Rank. They had some issues going on. It wasn't good over Top Rank. So shit wasn't good on the landscape, right? And this was his chance. And he went out there and so what he did, he bought up all the TV time slots, filled it with fucking meaningless fights with no geographical relevance to the fighters because he didn't care. The only plan was the fucking, and then he overpaid everybody by a third. He tried to wipe everybody out and take over the sport. He was going to control it like the UFC. He started telling the executive at HBO back in 2005, I'll put the link to the article. And this guy said, Al Haymon used to call me, I know how to take over boxing. If I get into it, I will run the whole show within 2 years. This was all his plan. When it fell apart and he didn't take it over and it collapsed, nobody bought his shit. All he cared about then was just getting what he can out of it. People could just call it what it is, bro.
It's
sad. I don't like him, man. I fucking ramble when it comes to Haymon, man. That dude don't fool me for a second, bro. I seen him coming.
Why do you think he's so quiet all the time?
I'm sorry, what's up?
I said, why do you think he's so quiet all the time? Why do you think rarely any of his fighters actually get to be around him and stuff like that?
Then you come to find out he also holds their purses. Listen, a part of think about what he has inside there. If you've seen a regular boxing contract, right, say Teofimo's, probably like 6-7 pages, right? Bang. If you get a PBC contract, it's like War and Peace. The shit's like fucking 40 pages. It's just like Recognize said. Recognize described it perfectly because it's a fucking music contract. All the same shit. He just changed it to boxing, like non-disclosure. So he can't talk about, and it says in their contract, because somebody read it online, it was T controversy. They cannot even talk about anybody in other fighters. It's a non-disclosure, so meaning you got to keep your mouth shut. And every time they do, like remember the kid Colbert talk shit about Wilder, and the next thing you know, fucking the boxing Floyd hype had to take the video down because fucking Chris got the call. Dude, you want to get sued? Take that shit back or just fix it. And now they're finding out that Broner's saying he's holding our money. I've heard this now from 3 different fighters. They're getting stipends. And at first they used to say like it was a big thing. Al Haymon pays us all the time. Don't worry, we're taken care of. What it was is he was keeping up to 80% of their purses and saying, I'll give you a stipend of $2,000 a month, yada, yada. Now you got fighters like Broner saying, I want my money. He's straight up saying it. So now, like, see what I'm saying, dude? So now he's holding on to that cash. He's probably got it invested in shit that he's not declaring or, hard to trace. Because I'll tell you one thing. He's a Harvard graduate and smart as a motherfucker. Don't let anybody fool you. Probably the smartest man in this game. He was a brilliant. Listen, you go back and I really wanted to see what he was like. I had to go into the fucking Boston Herald and look up like, their microfiche shit they had. Dude, nothing but praise, like back at Harvard Law, like he was a bright student. So this dude knows he's got money hidden. He's been making money off these motherfuckers. He talked to somebody into almost $750 million of hedge fund money on a promise that he was going to fucking make boxing great again on regular TV. Think about how good you got to be. Anyways, but I respect that, but I don't like what he did to boxing.
Yeah, so sometimes instead of paying them, he'll give them a fucking loan, dude. He gives them loans. He doesn't even fucking pay them. So
He gives them like allowances, like children.
Stippets.
Like weekly allowances.
disgusting. Not only that, but he treats the fighters that he knows are at risk like complete garbage. Like, look what he did with Prograis. He kept on promising, "Oh, we're gonna give you the Broner fight. We're gonna give you the Gervonta Davis fight." Where is it though? That could have been in June.
And usually that's Mayweather doing the talking. Haymon very rarely meets with his fighters. Only a handful have actually even met him. His attorney, Mike Hill. You know what's funny about Haymon? And those guys in the LDBC never talk about that, right? Al Haymon's surrounded by white people. His secretary, his publisher, his lawyer, all white. And you never hear, and I don't think there's nothing wrong. I think that's actually funny because you know what he did? He hired people on their abilities. But you don't hear the LDBC. You would think that would have been something that would have pissed him off. But they never talk about that.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
funny
Al
when
Haymon, he's a cancer to the boxing. He's a cancer.
It's funny when Bob Arum will say that there's a rumor that Al Haymon died 6 years ago. That's why you can't know what he sees.
I believe it.
They caught him on the Craig. He was on video at the McGregor Floyd fight. He showed up for that in person. Because remember, Floyd just wanted to put him into his name into the lights. Because, and again, all he was the attorney. Everybody says, he gave us the biggest fight with Mayweather. No. You got to remember, Floyd was already on HBO 23 times. All right? He was, you know what I mean, before fucking Haymon got in. And Haymon was just a lawyer who signed the papers.
Very true.
Hey, guys, I want to thank Carlos Ruiz for his contribution. He says Danny Garcia fought Granados for a WBC baby belt over Bud. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't follow the belts. So, but
I don't follow Danny Garcia.
No, did he win what's a WBC baby belt? Like an interim champion? See, this is
Yeah,
the
it's the
thing.
junior belts.
It's confusing as fuck,
baby
man.
belts.
Confusing. The WBA regular belt. You know, Gervonta Davis is like a 3-division weight champion now because he won 2 regular.
That's right. The Mickey Mouse champion.
I mean,
That's right. All baby belts.
Disgusting.
That's another.
You know why he does
He's
that?
just
though,
only a
Lucho?
one-time champion.
Well, yeah, exactly. But the reason why it's actually, again, Al's smart. He knows what to do because by doing that, by holding that junior belt, the baby belt, he's the one in line when the fucking bike if the belt gets say somebody abandons it because they're moving a weight class. So he's just basically ready to step in and take it instead of having to fight for it.
Are you guys ready for another controversial opinion on boxing? There should be about 10 weight divisions in boxing. About 10 weight divisions would be about right in boxing.
I agree.
But it should there should be I don't know how to describe it. Like, let's say 130 to 135 is their weight limit, so no one overtrains or no one is too drained. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if I had my way, 130, 135, that wouldn't even be a weight disparity.
No, what I'm saying is you can weigh in from 130 to 135, so no one is draining themselves.
You can do that already.
Are you saying it because you don't like the weight bullying going on? Is that why you don't like guys getting down? You want to eliminate that too instead of getting rid of weight classes. But believe me, dude, there's a huge difference from getting when you're 130 to 135. It's just you wouldn't think so, but those, you know what I mean. It really does make a difference, but usually for height reasons. But you want to get rid of that, dude. Go to same day weigh-ins like they used to have. That's what I mean when I say guys were tougher back then. Same day weigh-ins on 15 rounders. Please, you know what I mean? That eliminates weight bullying. Half these guys would be up at least 2 weight classes than they're fighting right now.
I mean, I prefer boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing over UFC. But in the UFC, they've got wrestling, which I would think weight disparities would mean more. And they've got way less weight divisions than boxing.
Well, that was controversial because when the UFC first started, there was no weight division. That was the whole thing. That was the selling point. Man against man. You could be 109 pounds fighting a 300-pound dude. So that was the big controversy for them to bring weight classes in the first place.
That'd be awesome,
dude. It was bloody, dude. I watched the first one. It was crazy. No, it was awesome, dude.
What I'm saying is imagine with today's fighters them doing that.
It's if you want to make the smaller weight divisions bigger as well, it's you got 105, 108, 112, 115.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Do you know what I mean? You got 3 or 4 pounds between every division. It's if you used to cut that down a bit more. And I like
you know they also did it because it's money. Remember, every fucking belt you make, it's more sanctioning fees. That's what it is.
Exactly. I know that, but if you want to grow the sport and keep it going on, it's cut that down a bit. The lighter divisions, I respect them a lot. I've been a fan
I think they should be 112.
I get your point. Yeah.
Combine 1.8. I'd say I'd combine 108, 112, and what's the one above 112?
115.
What's the next one?
115.
I'd combine those 3, 108 to 115 and to 112.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. That's exactly how it should be.
Listen, I think it should just be the traditional. Yeah, no worries, but I think it should just be minimum weight, flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, cruiser heavyweight.
Exactly. That is my position. That is also my position too. They should cut out the super duper whatever weight. They should. Why not combine them both? That's my
Australia
position.
brother made it. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
How's it going, Jed?
What's going on, lads? How are you, lads? Good.
We're pretty good.
Brother.
We're good and blessed. Hey. What's up, Jed?
Not bad, bro.
Live
Hey,
and
I wanted
talking
to ask
boxing,
you
it
guys.
can't be that bad, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
did you guys
that's
see
right.
that Colorado opened up a live scoring system for boxing? Them in Kansas, where in box. So now, as the fight is going, you can see who voted for who each round live. The boxers.
We need to have that in California. We should have that in
No,
California.
I think it should be like that the whole fucking time because then you would see, if you're losing, there's no more running around the ring. I mean, if you're winning or you think you're winning, you're not gonna be running around the ring for the last two fucking rounds thinking I'm up anyways, Plus, I
Hey,
hate
brother,
that shit. And then you can know if you're gonna go for a knockout or whatever. Like, I think it should be like that anyways.
I would do you one better. I would get rid of the fucking judges at ringside, and I'd put them in a booth with soundproof booth, and I would have just the fucking TV. Because believe it, dude, every one of us have a better view at that fight sitting in front of our HD TV than the refs. I mean, the judges. I've sat there and I've judged amateur fights, and half the time you can't see half the shit, dude. It sucks.
Yeah,
they would have a better time, and it would be less affected by the crowd. They would have a more honest fucking scorecard if they were in a soundproof booth. And then they could rewind shit. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's true because I mean, if you go to a baseball fucking game, dude, you ain't gonna see shit on in live. You're not gonna see shit or football. You're better off watching on TV. You got a way better view.
Same thing in soccer too. Same thing in football too. You're not.
Yeah, it's the same thing in football.
And you know what? Always the pushback on that has been because they've talked about in the past. It wasn't like it was my idea. It says that it removes the human element. That's always the thing in every sport when they talk about change. Removes the human element. Like they think that's a good part, having bad judging.
As if that's a good thing.
Listen, that's been one of the sorest. If you want to talk about one of the things that's driven the sport into the dark ages right now, and it really is. I mean, think about it, right? We do backflips if anybody goes near 1 million views, or even on regular TV, right? Did 2.5 million views on ESPN. When Muhammad Ali fought fucking Christ, I can't remember his name now, like an imbecile, but it had 70 million people. 70 million watched the fight. Like, to put it in scope, you know what I'm saying? Like 25 million people would watch fucking Mike Tyson fight. Now people are fucking sucking each other's dicks because he's hitting 3 million. It's like
Yeah, there's just no athlete no boxer with that excitement now though.
Well, they did it to themselves.
Not daring to be
Depends,
great.
man.
Like most of them, not all of them.
Bingo, right there. You said it. You hit the nail right on the head. Not enough. What were we gonna do when Canelo's gone? Hate him or love him, the motherfucker at least is trying to do shit. Fighting 3 times a year.
Yeah, but the thing about that is, like, you can give some props, but it's a weak division if we're going to be honest.
Yeah, but everybody's pumped for that fight.
Yeah, 168 is a weak division. He's
No.
Gerson is right. He's right.
I'll tell you what, if Bivol can come down to 168, that's a fucking fight, man.
In that Benavidez fight, because I'll tell you right now, Benavidez will definitely want to fight him. That kid will fight him. It would be just that PBC would be the only thing would hold it up.
Yeah, but he can't make 168. I think Bivol can. I think Bivol, he's not a big 175er. I think he can come down to 168.
He's already said he will.
Yeah, I think that's the guy I really think.
That fight would be so
They
boring.
almost made that fight. They almost made it.
Huge
Canelo hit
Bivol
him off.
fan. But because listen, he knows he's all wrong for him. Bivol has the best footwork in boxing. Make no mistake.
Bivol is
he's like a fucking. Listen, I'm telling you guys, as a sport, this is gonna sound weird, but if you actually watch it, it's great. Fencing, like top end fencing, that's fucking shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Those guys, that's what it all is. Fencing is all footwork. The hand really barely moves, and you can tell he studied that, and he dances like that too with it. And it's all wrong with Canelo. That's just not the. He needs somebody who's going to come in and overcommit, and he's going to make him pay. That's his thing. Bivol's not going to do that.
I've watched Bivol's footwork a lot, man. That guy he's fucking good, man. Trust.
It's the best footwork in boxing. It's the most balanced back and forth. It never changes. His shoulders. The ideal thing is if you look at a standstill, you want your inside of your feet to be really no wider than your shoulder width. That's where you're going to get the best balance and the best pop on your shot combined. You can get a little bit more if you open up a little bit more, but it's going to negate your movement. And he very seldom leaves his stance, and he pops in that. He's got big calves. I know he can put people to sleep. I'm just giving him props for his act. What he does good. And that's
Speaking of putting
people
to sleep, do you think Do you think he has power but doesn't rely on it?
Who's that?
Bivol? Because I feel like
because he could hit harder if he opened up his stance, but again, it would negate what he does best in his mind. I thought he was going to be honest, when he was first coming up. I thought he was going to take that, and then when he got near this kind of range, he would start opening up a little more and put more in his fight. And when he didn't, I was disappointed because of that reason, his name doesn't sell, and Canelo knows that too. So
yeah, he's not popular, Beevil, at all, really.
It's because he refuses to fucking break stance and let his hands go because he can hit hard if he wanted.
Let's take it a bit further. Let's be real. These Eastern European fighters, Russian fighters, they don't get much. They don't get much hype, man. Let's be real.
They never get praise at all. You're right.
But listen. But honestly, you're right. You're right because a lot of it was English. But if you did certain things, why did Triple G came here, Kazakhstan, and outsold Andre Ward, who won a gold medal for the place? You know what I mean? Like he did over $1 million. Because he was knocking motherfuckers out and he was fighting a lot. That's all it took, right? And everybody got on the bandwagon. So
but hold up. Speaking of them two, I want your thoughts on this, Jimmy. So explain to me how Andre loves to say, "Oh, Triple G was ducking me. I was offering the fight at 164, but he was at 175 at the time because he couldn't make 168. Why should we believe him?"
Can you want me to give you the God's honest, absolute breakdown on that? 100% to prove that it was an absolute joke, and even by Andre Ward's own words. How that went down was this. Andre Ward was battling with Goosen, trying to get out of his contract. He didn't fight for 2 years. Last time in the ring he fought was at 168, against Edward Rodriguez. 2 years later, now Triple G in that time, if his absent, has now taken the fucking boxing scene by storm. HBO has now put him up as their boy. That was the first thing that pissed off Ward. Okay, so now Ward took a shot. So now Ward's going into camp against the guy, Paul Smith. What was at first supposed to be a 168-pound fight. Ward, getting close to the end of camp, said, nah, it's not going to happen. He demanded it go to a catch weight of 171 pounds. Well in camp for a catchweight fight of 171 pounds when he made the statement, I'd fight Triple G at 168. Okay, now he never said the contract, he just said it. Okay, now fast forward 6 months later, right? He goes to fucking, the next fight, he moves up to light heavyweight, all right? And right after that fight, in the locker room, when somebody said, you ever going to fight at 168? Ward laughed. He actually chuckled. It was on HBO. He goes, 68, 175 is getting hard. So if you look at that, now here's a guy, right now, this is important too. Here's a guy who needed 2 warm-ups for Kovalev, but he was going to fight after 2 years cold at a weight that he just admitted he couldn't fight at against a kid who punches as hard, if not harder than Kovalev with better balance. It was just bullshit. It was never, and we're talking about another guy who never fought unless he had everything his way. The ring size, the pad thickness of the ring, the location, what gloves the opponent could wear. That's all. He was the most diva when it comes like that. So for all those things combined, that fight was never going to happen. That was just
I thought Mayweather was worse than. I thought Mayweather was worse. Okay, no, I was saying I thought Mayweather was a lot worse than Ward in terms of diva, but yeah, Ward is another level.
Yeah, he was the last American gold medalist. And just the point was, like, Tom Loeffler actually sent me a DM, like, and it was crazy. It was like a Bible. And he went over the contract things, and he showed me the timetables, and then he sent me a link to the HBO thing, and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, it just didn't make sense. He was already saying when he made that comment, I'll fight him 168. Well, he's saying that 2 weeks later, he's telling the fucking commission, no, this fight has to be bumped up to 171. It has to be a catch weight. Okay, all right, so that's telling you what? That he can't make 168. So that means the only way he could have fucking even tried is he would have had to fight him right after that with no warm-ups. It just wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have been able to make 168, and he laughed about it later.
All right.
So it's just all been a lie, dude.
Here's another thing about Andre. If you get confused, bear with me as much as possible. But here I go. So someone puts, this is why boxing will be finished soon. What happened to champions defending their throne against all comers? This is why I love the UFC's concept. Then Andre retweets it and says this. This is why fighters have to think for themselves. Fans will have you fighting all comers until you're 60. But he's criticizing Canelo for not fighting the best.
You know what that is, brother? That's jealousy of a man who still earns the fight. He knows he walked away too young at 34. He still had the fire in his belly, and he's jealous of the accolades.
Right.
That's
That's
all
why
it
he's trying to
is.
help Plant.
Of course. Why do you think he wants to be involved? He wants to be involved in the sport still. And I think eventually it's going to call him back, and might come back. You watch, he'll come back and fight it like, light heavy, more than light heavy, but probably cruiserweight or something against some bum.
Or a catch weight, because you know how he is.
And did you notice when he retired? That was real strategic, okay? He beat fucking Kovalev's balls in, right? He absolutely lost the first fight, beat his balls in the second fight, but Kovalev was in horrible shape, and he knew that because Kovalev's people his trainer was feeding Ward's people. But after that, look who was on the horizon. You had Gavajic, you had Beterbiev. What's that?
Bevo, too.
Hold up. Is it really true that he was feeding Kovalev's people were feeding
100%. He actually admitted it. And what
can you send it in the message, please? Or
right, this is how it went. He was telling Jeff Prince, what's his name? Okay. Jackson was talking to Jeff Prince, who he's very good friends with. Jeff Prince is one of fucking Ward's people. So he was being told, he was being fed everything, brother. And he actually, when he was asked about it, he giggled and he said, I plead the fifth, or he said something like that. I don't remember the link is, but that was well known. Like, remember, he called after he left. He hated Kovalev so bad. He said a lot of terrible shit about him. So yeah, no, without a doubt, he said he was a drunk and he didn't listen. No, he told Prince what to do. Why do you think? Listen, when has Ward ever come out from round one like that and attacked the body like that? In his history of his fights, why would he have done that? Unless somebody was saying, dude, this kid has no legs. He's a drunk, a vodka drinker, and his legs are skinny and weak. Go for the body. And it was the game plan that took him right out.
Well, he didn't hit the body. He hit the nutsack, but
of course, you know what I'm saying. He went right for the body right away, and of course, when he was going for those last nutsacks, and Kovalev too thought he was getting the ref was like waving because he got hit in the nuts, but he was waving the fight off. But regardless, but right after that, what did he do? When he turned around and saw those Eastern fucking Europeans coming down the road, he said, "Yeah, I think I'm going to retire." That wasn't by accident.
Knocked him out. I can guarantee you that.
Well, put it this way: do you think he beats Beterbiev?
Oh no,
no.
Okay.
Hell no, hell no.
Do you think, or even fucking? I don't think he beats Bevo. Bevo would be too long and too slippery for him.
Yeah.
And even Gavajic, I think would have beat him. Too big, strong. These are big, strong kids.
He would have knocked out. I think he would have knocked out Ward badly.
And then there's Alvarez. Remember, there's Alvarez and the other guys too.
Yeah.
There was the light heavyweight division suddenly became very tough right after he beat fucking right around that time. Remember those guys? And Ward looked around the fucking thing and then he used I just don't have the fucking love for the sport anymore. And if you don't have the love for it, you get hurt.
I have a question, Jimmy. Was Osordo Ramirez even relevant at that time or not yet?
He was,
Gilberto Ramirez?
No, he wasn't relevant. No, okay. I was just wondering in case if the Ward might have wanted to duck Zurdo. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He wasn't really even on the scene then.
Okay.
He also had like Badu Jack and Pascal coming up, and, like a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. And he bailed. So yeah, he's always thrown dust. That shit through Triple G. Remember, he started the Little G thing that got caught, by the LDBC, Little G, and all that other shit. There was no reason to do that. They were fighting under the same like an umbrella under HBO. It wasn't throwing fucking jabs at Showtime fighters. It was jealousy, dude.
I think, man, I really do think Triple G was willing to do that fight, but I bet you Ward was just asking too many demands.
No, but like, what's his name said, it never even got to that. Like, there was no contract offers back and forth. Ward's people never sent nothing. Fucking, what's his name, reached out to him, because he said, so what kind of weight clap you talking? And then Ward said, well, it have to be right away this coming year. And then that's when Loeffler said, no, well, he has a mandatory he has to do or they'll strip his belt. because that's why he was doing all his mandatories. Everybody's like, "Yo, why do you fight mandatories?" Because he wanted all the belts. In order to do that, you had to fight the mandatories. And then never mind the list. We don't even want to go down that. All the dudes who ducked him, turned money away, lost the pen. At his heyday, from 2014 or 2013 to 2017, nobody wanted to fight that fucking kid. Nobody.
Oh no, for sure. Honestly, but if they were to have fought, I would have predicted Triple G late stoppage.
Yeah, Triple G hits harder than Kovalev. And you know how I know that? Not only just because it's obvious, but fucking people who spot them both. The two people who have spotted them both have said straight up, absolutely, Triple G hits harder. He turns his fucking, he hits hard, yeah. Dude, you're only talking, listen, the same reason why I said, well, I appreciate it, but I'm not, this is my opinion, I'm just telling you what people who fought them both. And then if you look at this, Triple G, right, took Canelo's best shot and didn't even get rocked. And Canelo knocked fucking Kovalev smooth the fuck out in the round I predicted.
Yeah, but the thing about Kovalev was
Canelo also said it too. Canelo also said Triple G hit harder.
Yeah, but
and he would know.
Yeah, but the thing about Kovalev was that he wasn't even hitting hard in that fight, and he was already concussed like 2 months prior.
Who's that? Kovalev?
I'm talking about Kovalev, yeah.
Yeah, he might, but still, he was throwing his shots behind it, and even his jab, wasn't like, yeah, no, listen, I obviously knew he was shot too. I picked him to lose in the 10th round. I said 10th round stoppage. But Canelo even said what his prediction was, and he said his body's no good. He's got skinny legs, and that's the thing. Like Ward said it, Sully B said it. All these guys who fought him said it's crazy how when you're in a clinch with him, how not strong he is. Because that's the reason why he wasn't a very clinchy fight. He always wanted everything out of length with his,
he was always good at it.
Plus a drunk dude. If you lift up, you look up if you look at him in beach shorts and shit, dude, he's got skinny vodka legs. Vodka fucking just booze in general, but vodka will just eat your muscle away. And he was a heavy drinker. Probably still is. I don't know.
But as much as we're criticizing Kovalev, him in his prime was a monster.
Oh yeah, listen, props to him, dude. In his prime, before the alcohol took him out, and he drinks. Listen, that vodka is. I'm not shitting on him for it. Everybody has demons. I'm not passing judgment. You take the fact that people say who know him say that death in the ring really affected him. Like he had ghosts of that in his head, like that really bothered him. Then there's other shit they said that he did for a living prior to boxing that gives him nightmares. And he worked fucking closely with fucking shady oligarchs over there. So who knows what he did? So maybe that vodka, he does that to kill the demons. So I can't pass judgment on him.
Jimmy.
Yes, brother.
He had a...
Hold up. I disagree on two things you said. So I don't think alcohol really finished off Kovalev. I think Ward just figured him out. That's why the second fight was much easier. That's just my opinion. And then the second thing, as far as Triple G and Ward, I think Ward is a bad matchup for Triple G. He's never really fought a boxer, like a true boxer, especially a guy who's bigger than him, which Ward would be if they fought at 168.
Listen, I'm not. I didn't say Triple G would, fucking do him in or whatever. I wasn't talking about even a prediction on that. I'm just saying, logistically speaking, that fight was just never going to happen because Ward was too big. He said it just months. He actually called him out. Well, he just got done saying I can't make 168, which is kind of silly. But then he went on just months later and laughed about it. He goes, and he literally meant it. 175 is getting hard to make. So that fight was never realistic. It was just he hated Triple G's shine, so he threw some dirt on him. Whatever, he did it for his reasons. But I'm not taking away what Ward did to him. But listen, he was also being told go to that kid's body. But he also knew that from the first fight to go to the body.
Yeah, definitely.
And Ward's honestly, and I've paid him this compliment many times, the most cerebral fighter, like smartest in the ring. He always outsmarted his guys. But I would always say, but I never liked the fact that he always had to have a home cooking fight. He was in charge of no, he would only fight with certain.
He was dirty as fuck,
and he controlled it. What's that, brother?
He was dirty. Headbutting and a lot of
headbutting whole people.
But he excessive.
He pushed it though, right? I guess if that's smart, he took it to what he did, right?
Fury's kind of similar. Hold on, Ward is the generic American fighter who fights at home 95% of the time, 100% of the time if it's a title fight. There you go. That's the truth.
I mean, yeah, but the only real controversial like win he's ever had was you can argue the first Kovalev. Everything else is pretty clean in my opinion.
We need to start putting stars next
there were
to
fights that
American
he didn't have
boxers'
to.
resumes, man.
There were a lot of fights where he fought dirty when he didn't have to fight dirty. Like when he fought the Jamaican guy. Was it the Jamaican guy?
Dawson?
Was it Sully B? He was the Cuban, right?
No.
Also Kessler too. Kessler
in the tournament in the Super
And that
Six.
just shows.
I think the
For me, that just shows that Ward is insecure. Because if he has to do that in order to win, you're not a real one, in my opinion.
Well, he held a lot, like that Carl Froch fight. Man,
Oh
the
no,
guy was holding.
Honestly,
and
holding. I don't care. But low blows and headbutts, don't do that.
Well, you know what I like the best about Ward right here? The end of that first Kovalev fight. Like literally, I remember people tweeted about it. They put all the fucking scores of all the, legit media people. Nobody scored that fight for Ward. Ward knew he lost that fight. Remember they were saying, they was calling it, the scores and winner, and he had his face down. He looked so dejected, like he was going over in his head. All of a sudden, he's popped. His eyes get all fucking size of quarters. He knew he didn't win that fight. No fucking way, dude. That was a straight up robbery. I mean, does anybody think differently? I don't know. Let's hear.
No, he won that fight, in my opinion, and even Andrew Ward's reaction was pretty. Like he said it all, right? He's like, "Oh, I won the fight." I wasn't expecting that.
No, he wasn't.
Saki Obika, that's the fight. Somebody in the chat, people are saying Saki Obika. He was headbutting the guy. It was dirty, man. Not the first time. I'm not saying Ward wasn't a good fighter or anything, but I don't know why he needed to fight that way. Sometimes I don't.
How do you guys?
Was you guys was boxing all of your guys' first combat sport?
Oh yeah.
Mine says karate, martial arts.
Okay.
Oh, to practice karate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boxing was the only combat sport around when I was a kid, so I had no choice.
Yeah, mine was Muay Thai, so I'm used to robberies. I used to see foreign fighters when I was living in Thailand, going to Bangkok, fighting there and getting robbed hard. So it's nothing new to me.
But they're notorious for that, though, right? They have a reputation for the Bangkok for like foreign fighters getting screwed.
Yeah,
the Muay Thai guy.
Also, does the United Kingdom and the United States in boxing. So it's nothing new to me, man. This is the continuation of that bullshit.
Yeah, that's how it works.
How do you guys feel about?
Let me get a question off real quick. I jumped on. I ain't said a word since I got on. What up, everybody?
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Jimmy, what's up? Jimmy, it's a question for you because, you talking about alcohol killing your gains and shit when you're working out. How can you drink and be fit? How can you schedule it around?
Right. Well, that's easy, dude. You just got to do it very infrequently and eat. This is very important. Before you drink, carb the fuck up. Because the danger, when alcohol comes in, it's evaporation. It evaporates all the fucking white blood cells. It evaporates all the moisture in your body, dude. Everybody's had them, right? How many people waking up with pounding headaches from drinking too much? You know what that is? You're dehydrated. Well, you want to get rid of that? You guzzle Gatorade and take 2 aspirins before you fall asleep. You're almost guaranteed not to have that kind of a hangover.
Lowers your blood sugar as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's depleting. Listen, there's 2 drugs that are not the chemical that gets you high isn't already in your body. I don't care if it's heroin, cocaine, any of them. It's already within us, and it just amplifies it. The 2 is alcohol and benzos. That's why it's so damaging to the body. And say you've been working out, right? Say you worked out your ass off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You just had 3 killer workouts in a row, crazy pumps. It's Monday night, you get blitzed out of your mind. You've now just destroyed not only the 3 days, and because you only grow when you sleep, and what happens, that alcohol in your liver takes 3 days and destroys it's just terrible. So you got to do it sparingly if you're trying to make muscle gains or doing something for a living. And it's very important to carb up before you drink a lot of pasta. Eat as much pasta as you can. Get your bunch of electrolytes in your body. Then if you get lit, and then just guzzle Gatorade.
Yo,
and
Jimmy,
that would go a long way helping.
What about if you're just drinking beer, man? If you're not in the liquor, is that a problem?
Well, no, beer isn't the same, but beer is the calories, dude. There's so many. It's just bad calories. It's not clean calories, so it's very easy to turn to fat.
That's why I don't drink. That's why I don't drink alcohol. I stay clean.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I've been on that too. I've been on it too, but once in a while you want to indulge, so I try to plan it out. Like, if I have been
Just
working
smoke
out
a fatty, dude. Just get some good hooch. Get
I
lit up.
know.
It's gonna do the least. It'll do the least amount of damage to your body.
Hey, that's my everyday though. You know what? I do like to enjoy some nice wine from time to time.
Oh no, listen, dude. A glass of wine. No, if you want to drink wine, that's good for you, dude. Literally, it really is. It'll actually extend your life. That's the God's honest truth, man.
Jimmy, how much wine though? Because I go crazy. Is it like one glass? Because they say just.
I heard it was. I've heard reports depend on your body weight. If you're anywhere between 180 and 100 and 180 and 200 pounds, like 2 10-ounce glasses, so 20 ounces of wine, and it's a good amount. But it's a lot of the things, and it has to do with the fucking grapes and there's other shit. But there's communities in Europe and Italy that they drink wine, and like the average age people there are like 108. They also drink a lot of olive oil.
I think there's some
that does it good.
I think there's some propaganda around that. I think alcohol is just a bad period. That's my opinion on it.
Cocaine, alcohol.
What about cocaine, Jimmy?
Wine?
Jimmy, cocaine.
My kind of conversation. Let's go.
Yeah, fuck all that, man. Drink as much as you want, do as much blow. Just make sure you get your run time in. You'll be all right.
Yeah, there you go. You have a heart attack when you're running.
I saw a fucking meme. I saw a fucking meme that was showing off this. It was a crash diet from the 70s from Vogue magazine. It was the eggs and wine diet. Literally, like throughout the day, you eat throughout the day you're eating about like 6 eggs, a couple pieces of toast, and a whole bottle of wine for 3 days. I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
You be fine. You be fine all day.
That sounds nutritious.
Yeah, if you want to gain mostly muscle, dude, one of the best diets is all the turns your body ketosis was the Atkins. We eat nothing but protein. You'll have smelly breath and your sweat will stink. But you fucking it's crazy what it does to your body.
I did the steak and eggs for like 2 or 3 weeks once. Jesus Christ, dude. I felt like a wolf in the woods, dude. I could just hunt fucking kill it right there. Like,
dude, I used to have my buddy Scotty, dude. He would order steaks and prime rib, fucking bloody. So like, dude, I'd say, dude, let you eat a salad first, dude, because your shit would be so bloody, I would lose my appetite. We used to make a joke. We used to tell the fucking waitress, just shave off a couple of pounds or ride the rest home. Like, that motherfucker eat that shit bloody. Ugh. It skeeved me out.
That's good. That's good.
I'm a medium well kind of guy. Can't eat it.
Yeah, it depends on the cut of meat. The better it is. Like if it's filet mignon, I don't mind medium. I don't mind if it's a little pink in the middle. If it's good meat, but if it's like a fucking $3 fucking rug meat, exactly, burn the shit out of it and cover it in fucking marinade.
Yeah, exactly, Timmy.
I just had
you know what you're talking about
for the first time this weekend.
What's that? What you have?
You guys fuck with oxtail? I was at a Jamaican party.
Asabuco? Yeah. You talking about Asabuco?
Okay, yep, that too.
Yeah, my mother, man. She was a chef. Yeah, she used to make that shit.
Oof, so ten.
What? Ox meat? Is that what you said?
Oxtail. It's like I don't even know where it originates from. Actually, I feel kind of dumb, but Asabuco, it's like a marinated oxtail. It's slow braised. It's like braised, and it takes a while to cook, but because it's a tougher kind of cut or meat. But
it's literally tail.
Well,
yeah, dude, but it takes a while, right? It takes like several hours, but oh my god, it's so fucking good.
Think about it, dude. Think about what that is. That was obviously, if you actually follow the trace of that meal, it goes back to the landlord days when the poor would only get the shit cuts. They learned how to do crazy shit with it because the landlords, Sir Malay, they always got all the prime meat. So think about the Irish. They were given the fucking what do they call it? Corned beef. That shit's gross, dude. You have to boil it for 6 hours. But they learned to make that shit taste good. It was because they were surfing.
What about haggis? The Scots, they eat the haggis. Yep. Is this kind of the same thing?
Sheep's heart.
Yep. All the shit the landlords wouldn't eat.
Yo, lobster used to be a peasant meat, remember? Lobster used to be considered for like lower class people.
Yeah,
if you put a lobster on a fucking table of a fucking, like a sir, back in the day, yeah, you would be like yelled at. It was a peasant food.
Wow.
Dude, they used to complain in prisons. They used to complain because they would serve it every fucking day. They're like, dude, can we get something other than lobster? Please.
And they wiped out the New England lobster grounds. They had Japanese. They had fucking every country here laying. You could walk across the fucking halfway to Europe on their traps. It was insane.
Jesus Christ.
And those lobsters live up to 100 years old, man. They get old and big and crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, up to
Lobsters,
100 years old.
lobsters are psychic.
And I'll eat a whole lobster in fucking 15 minutes, man. Fuck your
Dude,
100 years.
That's
You're
an Alex
done.
Jones
Yeah, dude,
joke. None of y'all got it,
I've seen 30-pound lobsters, dude. They have them in tanks here because I live in New England, obviously lobster. But yeah, 30-pounders, and they're like right on the tank. It says, Franco, 92 years old. It's like Jesus Christ.
That's cool, man. Like up north, there was a place in Jersey, like Cape May, New Jersey. Just when you go over the bridge, it's called the Lobster House, and it's been there for like since the 20s. And when you walk in the lobby in the waiting area where they got the benches, if you look to the right, they got like the taxidermied lobster, and the fucking thing, no joke, is like 3 feet. Like the thing is huge as fuck, and it says, like this lobster is this old, and it's just massive, dude. And it's the same thing about king crab. People don't understand. King crab actually get much bigger than you see, but they get overfished, so they don't even get to become as big as they used to get.
The sweetest fucking meat you can ever eat as far as shellfish, king crab. Oh, that's good. That's sweet, but it's so $29 to fucking $49 a pound because you see what I do. But lobster, dude, this one at the cage up there, because my sister lives literally on the beach up at Seabrook, and so went up there. She lives right near the Seabrook Seafood House, and they have this lobster. And this thing's like fucking, like I said, like 90 years old. Thing's smart too because it's learned. Like they stick this thing. It's almost like a skinny, say, wooden broom handle, and the thing knows. He does a show like people say, how strong is his bite, and he knows if he breaks it or grabs it, they give him a treat. They shellfish whatever he eats, and you ought to see this motherfucker snap like it's not. And he goes, take your finger right off. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But they're smart animals too.
Oh yeah. It's funny what's expensive now, and how it wasn't really, because it's about, for king crab here in North Carolina, it's about $45 a pound. So
crazy.
which is like
they're regulated.
Leg, it's like one fucking leg is $45. It's fucking ridiculous.
But it's good. It's so worth it. If you have the money, you want to spend it, dude. Isn't it good? Just all you gotta do is just
some unsalted butter, brother, and you take some garlic.
All right, there you go. Yep, that's exactly how I eat it, dude. It's fabulous, but you could, next thing you know, dude, you could have just eaten $200 worth and going, woof, that went quick. Now, what about caviar? That's just nasty tasting. People eat that just to eat it.
Yeah.
All it is it's white sturgeons, right? It's white sturgeon. It's that freshwater seawater fish, and it's their eggs.
Even the good stuff I never liked.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I didn't know what the big fucking black caviar from Russia. Right after the curtain fell, somebody got some. I took a bite. I'm like, you kidding me? The kid's like, dude, that's like $600 a tin. I'm like, fuck, I want to give you $6. Put that on my cracker again. I'll give you a fucking 2-piece. It seems nasty.
Hey, Jim.
I like when I go out to a sushi joint and they got the orange caviar, like the roe or whatever. I like that shit.
Yeah, the roux or the roe.
Yeah, but see, I'm not a sushi fan either, dude. I just can't pass the whole raw fish thing.
Can't do it.
I don't know. Just can't get past it, man.
All right, they're still talking, guys. I gotta bounce, but I want to thank you for joining us. This open panel, we were supposed to talk shit about the LDBC, but yeah, what more can you say? These people are ridiculous. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. I think Mr. BDA wants to do a show tomorrow or Friday on boxing's biggest upsets. I think that's what he said. So stay tuned for that live stream. And yep, I'll see you next time. Take care.